Okay. All right. I think we're good. I think we're live. I believe we should be good. No idea how long it takes people to normally join in, but let me post this here. Okay. All right. Let's hop in here, get our stuff going, get ready for some ranked battles. We are close. We are getting close. 77 points to reach Master Ball. Now, this could take us 30 minutes. It could take us 3 hours, but I plan to do it on the stream if at all possible. Hopefully the audio is good. If anybody is in chat, please let me know if the audio sounds fine or not. Yo, what's up, Illuminati G? What's going on, man? Let me know. Everybody watching, let me know how the audio is. I think it should be okay. Audio's perfectly fine, Alex. Thank you. Sweet. All good on my end. Perfect. Is it rare to get good stuff from daily packs? Not as rare. It's the same rarity as any pack that you would open, I believe. I think is how that works. But yeah, I feel like the premium pass pulls got worse. And listen, I don't know. There's no way for me to know that. Haven't got 2 golds. How many matches played total so far for ranked? Let's see. So let me give you guys the story. So we're about just over 200 games, 227. So I was floating around 72 to 73% win rate all the way up until Ultra 4. Okay, that's the story. All the way to Ultra 4, and then things really got quite difficult. Not only were we playing really good players, but we were just sort of hitting a lot of decks that were kind of tailor-made to be good against Giratina, right? And all of the Giratina decks, whether that's Darkrai and Giratina or Mewtwo and Giratina. So a lot of people started playing things like Mewtwo-Giratina, playing things like Gyarados, like Charizard, and just a lot of things that I think were good into Giratina. So it's been a little bit tricky. Like I said, better players up here, and I went on a bit of a unlucky streak. I lost 4 in a row the other day. So our win rate is down now to about 68.5%. I expect that to continue to go down realistically the farther we play. I think that we're still playing Mewtwo and Giratina. The list is up here on the screen. That's what we're going to be running with tonight. It's what I've been playing all throughout ranked mode, so I'm really trying to kind of continue that, to continue playing this deck all the way through. I have made some adjustments. Let's go back. I'll pull up the list so you guys can see. I think I have it on screen anyway. But investing with Cole. I forgot last stream that my YouTube name is different. It's Like Red. What's going on, Like Red? Okay, I didn't know that, to be 100% honest with you. I didn't know that was you. Shout out to Like Red from the Discord, keeping it real. Keep getting knocked out of Great Ball 2. Having no Giratina is limiting my deck list building. Yeah, for sure. I think 2 of the top 5 decks right now are with Giratina. To be fair, though, I don't actually think that it's probably that smart to be playing Giratina, at least this high up on the rank. Tons of Mewtwo-Giratina, lots of sort of aggro, Carnivine, Arceus decks or fighting decks. So it's definitely been really, really tough. Like I said, we're probably realistically operating at about a 60% win rate so far in Ultra 4. So my win rate continues to drop. So I'm hoping we can stay above 65 by the time we hit Master Ball, but we'll have to see. But this is the deck list that we're running. I've swapped a couple things out, so I'm actually only running 1 red. Again, so many decks are like playing Mewtwo-Giratina and those counter Giratina cards and decks, so red is becoming less useful. So I cut 1 copy of red, added in a Mars. So 1 red, 1 Giovanni, 1 Mars, 1 Leaf, 1 PCL, Pokemon Center Lady, and then 1 Dawn. And now we're running 2 Sabrina. I actually got rid of 1 Sabrina, 1 Cyrus. We are running 2 Sabrina now. Hopefully should be better against some of those like Mewtwo-Giratina type decks and fighting decks. Couldn't run Galliard Wood. Yeah. Pretty cool. It's we'll see. You know what? Like I said, I don't think that this is the best time to be playing Mewtwo-Giratina, if I'm 100% honest with you. I think 3-4 days ago, this was a great deck to be playing in ranked, but I think right now it's tough. Mars to me is what Grunts is to you, just the card that you can win. Yeah, exactly. I think Mars and Grunt are very similar. I think the one difference with Mars is that it technically is better against a lot of those evolution decks that maybe don't have that Pokemon, right? So for that reason, I'm running Mars instead of Grunt. But again, a lot of Weavile, Darkrai, just so many decks right now that are not good against Mewtwo and Giratina. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to do it anyway. Like, we're doing it anyway. I'm sticking with this deck. And like I said, we have some preventative measures in here. We do have one Giovanni. We do have one Rocky Helmet. We have two Sabrina. So we are building our deck sort of around, hopefully, having a better matchup against Mewtwo-Giratina and those other decks, but you know what? It is what it is. So, like I said, we're 77 points away, and hopefully we don't tank our win streak too much in this live stream. But let's get right into it, I think. I don't know how many people are going to tune in Saturday night, 8:30. You never really know, but we're going to go ahead and we're just gonna dive right in. We're going to start battling for sure. We're just going to get right into it. Like I said, I don't expect us to win as many games as we did last live stream. Things are, again, in just a completely different format on the ranked battles, at least. So many people really trying to counterplay these Giratina decks. If an evolution deck has used one or two Professor Research already, you get to Mars them right. You can always pop Mars early. What's my rank stats so far? About a 69% win rate. We're leading with Mewtwo, going second against Grass. So very interesting starting hand. We do have Rocky Helmet. We do have Giovanni in hand as well. So I don't think that this is actually that terrible. It's not great, but it could be worse. I'm not going to lie. We're going up against Executor, which is scary, especially since they're going first. We could see, an Executor turn 2. Here comes the Rocky Helmet, so no Giant Cape. That should be okay for us. He's going to play Pokeball. We don't have a Pokeball in our hand, and we do not have a Research in our hand, which is a bit scary here. And here comes the immediate Pokemon communications. He's definitely playing Mewtwo-Giratina as well, right? So, he's only got, I think they're probably running 2 copies of Executor in their deck. A second Pokecom is crazy. So he's going to go down to 2 cards in hand here. And one of those, hopefully, is not an Executor EX. But I think the odds are probably pretty high, if we're going to be honest with you here. And we do see the Leaf, so this is a bit scary for sure. I think we're going to have to just sort of play the odds because we have PCL in hand. So I think, honestly, just going Rocky Helmet even turn 1 here on the Mewtwo might be worth it just to get that extra damage off. Executor doesn't do that much damage, and if he's going to attack with C-Bomb, I would rather just sort of potentially fix this math in here. We could potentially just, go Psychic Sphere twice, right, with red. So we have some possibilities. I am actually going directly into Rocky Helmet. Hello, Bandito. What's going on? Playing a marathon until 2 a.m. every Saturday night. Word up. Yeah, so here's the Executor, exactly what I thought would happen. So we're really just kind of at this... Oh, my God. Here comes the Grunt as well. Oh, so lucky that we missed that Grunt. That would have been awful. Actually terrible. The problem is he also has Rocky Helmet, which is, again, terrifying for us. Okay, so Double Tails is actually super, super big for us here. It's not great. It's still not great, I'm not going to lie, especially if we don't see... I don't know. There's, really no world where this really feels good for us. Okay, Pokeball is interesting. So now we have to make the decision, actually, whether we want to start committing energies to this Giratina. We do have PCL, and we have Leaf as well. So this is a very interesting scenario, I think. I think we always just PCL the active. Okay, so here's the deal, though. I might just go double Giratina and just start building it up because we have Leaf in hand, right? And as long as he doesn't go double Tails on attacks here, then we can just go into Giratina and take the KO. Hopefully Mewtwo doesn't go down by then. I think that's a better strategy than just attacking back-to-back with Psychic Sphere because that could potentially put us out in range of getting KO'd by at least 1 coin flip. So we don't really want that. We're not going to attack. We're going to double up on Giratina, mainly because we have Leaf in hand. Here comes the Pokeball. Probably going to be a Sprigatito. Yeah, for sure, which is, again, absolutely terrifying. He could have a Floragato in his second hand. That's a heads. We don't like to see that, for sure. We do not like to see that. Okay. Oh, man, I'm a little bit scared here because we do get KO'd. We could preemptively Leaf just to guarantee that we don't get KO'd. Definitely going to cape Giratina here. He's in range, but again, he could have Ericas in that. He could draw into Ericas, which would completely, just tear down our thing here. But I don't think we can risk Mewtwo going down, so I think we have to Leaf preemptively, which does feel bad for sure. This is not a great scenario for us. And his ego goes up 1% every time he says PCL. Yeah, that's right. We use acronyms over here on the channel. We use PCL. So, okay, so we can't keep Mewtwo in the active. I'm not going to play that game. There's no reason to. But what I will do is still attach to Mewtwo because it potentially could be give us the ability rather to KO that Floragato. The thing is, he's got such low cards in hand. So, he could play strongly off the top deck and put us in a really tough spot. Here comes the Rocky Helmet. So that's his top deck. Does he have Floragato in hand? No, but he's got the Ericas, right, which is exactly what we did not want, truthfully, which is absolutely terrible. If this is heads here, that's tails. Okay. Yeah, that's just terrible. The fact that he had the Ericas in hand is bad. But, we're living next turn no matter what, right? So it's not like the end of the world. Oh, and we have the... So this Sabrina could be crazy, but I don't think we ever play Sabrina yet. And the reason why we don't play Sabrina yet is because we haven't seen Floragato, so I'm not pressured to KO this Sprigatito yet. But we are just safe to just attack here, I believe. There's no reason to ever play Giovanni or Red right now. I mean, I guess we could play Red because it's not going to help us anywhere else, right? Yeah, I'm actually just going to play Red. We are taking 4 damage here, so like technically speaking, like we're not safe next turn, but we can always just retreat, go into Mewtwo, take the KO, and then potentially, you know, as long as he doesn't top deck the Floragato, I think we're okay here. This is super close. This game is super scary. Yeah, 2 eggs, 2 Floragato, 2 Mewtwo. What does he top deck here, though? That's the real question. Nothing. Okay, big. He does get the heads anyway, which does kind of, it is pretty annoying, I'm not going to lie. But he's going to go down to the Mewtwo, and then I think we kind of just guarantee game next turn. That Giratina is also kind of big. Unless he top decks Floragato and then can KO Mewtwo. Which actually could happen, which is pretty funny. Okay, so this is actually really interesting. I think, honestly, do we just KO with Giratina and then leave Mewtwo at 60 HP, right? Because that way, no matter what, unless he has Floragato and Red, he can't KO the Mewtwo, but technically we're in a position to lose that game. We can't attack into him, right? That just doesn't make any sense. Well, we're going to KO with Mewtwo this turn. And then just not have a Pokemon die. I think that's always the smarter choice. And we are going to put it on the Mewtwo so that we can potentially just sort of KO next turn. I think we always do this, yeah. We have Geos, so for next turn, but the problem with this, like I said, is that we go down to 40. The problem is that we go down to 40, so if he top decks Floragato, he can just KO us. And then and then what? And then we're in a really bad spot. We could always just go into this Giratina and then stall, right? But it's just not a good scenario, so... the thing is, if we KO'd with Giratina... Yeah, okay, we win anyway. That was a really tricky situation, because if we KO'd with Giratina, Mewtwo would have been at 60, which means that we would have sacrificed the Giratina to KO the Executor, but then he wouldn't have ever been able to KO Mewtwo, so that could have been the better decision, but like I said, we were kind of really getting into the weeds there. So that's an early win right off the bat. We didn't see a single Sabrina as well. No, we did later on, I think, but 2 Sabrinas hopefully should help us in those types of matchups. Do you sack more aggressively if you have Mars? Yeah, that's the other thing, right? If we have Mars in our hand, like maybe we sack, but he only had 2 cards in hand anyway, right? So it wouldn't have really mattered, I don't think. 3-game win streak, okay? 67 points to go, guys. 67 points to go. Yeah, KO with Mewtwo might be a tie, though. Exactly. That was the thing. Is like it could have ended in a tie, which wouldn't have felt good. I never feel Mars clears too much for me. Sometimes it's just really good. It's interesting because it's like the 20th card in the deck, right? Am I only running 2 Slab due to all the Drud? Or is it good versus everything? Oh, Sabrina. I'm running 2 Sabrina for just basically a variety of reasons, honestly. Like, early Sabrina is really good against Gyarados. It's good against Weavile Darkrai. And it can be really good against Meowscarada as well. And again, we are going against Turbo Arceus. Man, I hate this deck, by the way. This deck list here is like the bane of my existence. And again, this might be a scenario why we're playing early Sabrina. But the thing is with this deck is that they go like Shaman and Rotom, so they always have pivots. You know what I mean? So like, this is a deck that I can't really utilize Sabrina here. Because like, if we see a Rotom, we can't Sabrina. And here comes like the Rotom. Unless this is like second Arceus, like we're never able to Sabrina out the Carnivine. Yeah, and that's the problem with this deck. But what we can do technically, oh, the Mewtwo top deck's fine, I think. So there's just so many reasons why this deck is so annoying and this matchup is so annoying. Okay. So I don't think we're gonna cape anything yet. Like the fact that he's leaning Carnivine and then had Arceus and Rotom on the bench turn 1 is super frustrating because like the odds of that happening for him are actually pretty low. And that it's just super annoying. Like we have a terrible matchup against this deck because he's just able to do a whole bunch of stuff. We could go double Giratina, but I think we always just split. Like I think at the end of the day, we always split here. No Rocky Helmet as well. It's pretty annoying. Do we ever just ditch the active Giratina? The thing is, that's not a really great strategy because if we don't draw a leaf, then we're not able to just get out of it, right? So I think we just still do the old classic split energies turn 1. Well, additionally, I feel like Sabrina's better because you're only realistically damaged in big increments. Right, that's the other reason why I kind of switched to Sabrina was because, like, this deck, the whole point of this deck is to, like, one-hit KO Pokemon, right? I'm never, like, attacking and then bringing something back in. It just doesn't really happen unless there's, like, a weird Rocky Helmet play. Okay, so Mars is going to be probably useful later in the game. I think we still do all of this shenanigans here. Next turn, we'll giant keep the active if we don't draw a potion or something like that. Either way, it's just not... None of this is good. We could start splitting here preemptively. I think that's probably best in case we don't draw any healing or anything like that. Why don't I run 2 Rocky Helmet? Because Giant Cape is better than Rocky Helmet. Like, there's more matchups where Rocky Helmet's more important. So, like, we end up just sort of doing that. But, again, in a deck like this, like, whenever I feel like I go against this Turbo Arceus deck, they always lead with Carnivine. They always do. And it's like, you just can't, there's no, like, buffer for them, you know what I mean? Or they lead with Rotom. Like, that's, again, the upside to this deck, if we're being honest with you. PCL's huge. This guarantees that we don't get KO'd next turn. So that's exactly what we like to see here. So now we're definitely going to go... see, this is still, like, really annoying. Because we split energies this way. We do this so that we can just technically take a KO next turn. It's not good. None of this is good. Like, no Rocky Helmet means, like... I guess technically, like, we could... Yeah. It's just unfortunate, because this Arceus can do 150. So, like, we want to save for the Mewtwo, but the main problem... Unless we draw, like, Dawn next turn, we're just not in a good spot. Now, what we can do, though, is, like, just retreat. Goes into Rotom anyway. Why would he go into Rotom here? Do we know? Is he just setting up for... I don't know what that was about. I'm not going to lie. We could play a Mars here. I don't know what Mars really does for us, but we could play the Mars here. Yeah, that's kind of why... Like, I kind of want to play the Mars because it's like... I'm definitely just going to cape the Mewtwo, though, preemptively for insurance. The fact that he did that funky play makes me just want to play Mars because he's got 6 cards in hand. But we could bring him down to 1, though. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like... I know, he wants to snipe and then Cyrus, right? Like, that's definitely the play. But we have Potion in our hands, so, like, I'm not even worried about that. So, I think we always just attach Mewtwo. I don't think we do anything this turn, in fact. Although, you know, the thing that we could do here, though, is actually just... He's gonna... No, I don't know why he did that. Not attacking last turn was not a good move on his part. We're just going to do this to the active because next turn, if he doesn't... He can't KO us unless he uses Arceus. So then we just KO with Giratina, and then we have Mewtwo on the back. And if he dash attacks us, we have Potion. So I don't know what his play was there. Maybe he's assuming I'm not running Potion. I don't know what his thought process was. Because if he just attacked with Carnivine, we were screwed. We were screwed because we weren't able to... That is his play, isn't it? Why is that? Why is he doing that? Why would he ever do that? Is that really his win condition? There's no way. There's no way. How many hours is it going to take? Who knows, man? It could take a million hours. It could take none. So now it's like GG. I don't know. I don't know what his thought process was here. And I think we still potion the active here. That way, after we attack, he can't red KO with Carnivine. He had no plan. Yeah, red. I mean, you're right, I guess. Do we Mars anyway here? Because he's not taking a KO next turn. I am. I'm actually going to early Mars. That might be a wrong play, but I'm actually feeling it because I don't know what his plan was, so I'm early Marsing all the way. I know he bring him to 3, but, like, it's still better to do that, I think. Just because, like, we have kind of game in hand next turn because he can't KO us with anything other than Arceus. We just attack again, and then I think there's no reason we lose. Now, the only thing about that, technically speaking, is that... Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter if he goes into Rotom and does this whole Cyrus play again because... We have Giratina. And we have Sabrina, right? So, like, there's never a world here where it's not worth us doing that. If we didn't have any Sabrinas in hand, then playing that other potion would have been a misplay. But how did you come to the choice on second potion over PCL? Mainly because the cape on the Arceus is actually probably annoying if we don't draw into red or Giovanni. But again, we have Sabrina, so. And now he goes into Arceus to take the KO. Yeah. That's the right play on his part. For sure, right? Definitely the right play on his part. But I still don't know where he goes from here. I have no idea. We have 2 Sabrina, so I think we honestly just play Sabrina and we KO, right? Right? Because we can attack back to back with side drive now 150, so because we have Sabrina, we never don't. Like we always just attach in Sabrina and then we KO twice. Pretty sure. Unless he has Sabrina as well. That's my play. That's my idea here. Because we're not playing Cyrus, so like it's always better for us to do this. Pretty certain. The only play that this doesn't work out here is, again, if he has Sabrina and he has... Oh, but now... Oh, why did I do that? He had Rocky Helmet. Oh, now we're going to lose. If he has red in hand, then we lose and we misplayed. I didn't even notice he had Rocky Helmet in his hand. I didn't even notice that he had Rocky Helmet attached. That stinks. I mean, he's got 8 cards in deck. I mean, what are the odds that he has red, right? Probably pretty high. He also needs to bench 2 Pokemon, if we're being honest with you. So, I don't think... I'm sorry, did you Mars to 1? Because if so good Dante doesn't have the cards. He doesn't have the cards anyway. We've taken 2 KOs. So, we win. Like I said, I mean, I didn't... It's weird in hindsight when you, like, analyze the board and you, like, make decisions because, like, we had 2 Sabrina in hand, which, like, totally changes the way that we play that game. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't have red, we didn't have, like, Giovanni or anything like that. But if we did, then it would have just been a different scenario. Like, we technically could have played research and just attacked. It would have been the same thing. It would have been the same outcome. I guess we opened ourselves up to getting Sabrina, so technically, I don't think it was the right play, but I think we were in a position such that it probably didn't matter that much. Nerf Mars. Mars won us the game. Yeah, Arceus needs card advantage for sure. 2 Sabrina also just won as well. Like, the fact that we had 2 Sabrina in the game means, like, our route was, like, super weird. 57 points away. The winning play is the right play. Exactly. Exactly. And you never know what that is. My least favorite card from the set, Meowscarada for sure. I hate Meowscarada. Hey, James, you're welcome, man. Thanks for tuning into the stream, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, no video today. Okay, so we're going first, leading with Mewtwo. We do have Pokeball and Giant Cape in hand. You know, the moment I started this game, I already knew where it was going. That's right. What are we playing? I didn't see the energy type. Fire. And of course, you know, the one thing I will say, and this is not to be like ironic or anything, but every single time that Mars could be huge. Every single time I play against Charizard, it's always a lead off Moltres. I've never seen them lead with Charmander. That might be a coincidence. It might not be. But either way, this is not good. Like, leading with Mewtwo here is terrible against this deck because basically we have no way of KOing this Moltres early on. We have no Sabrina. Like, we just don't have any early pressure with Mewtwo in the active spot. So this is absolutely terrible here. The only upside is if we don't even see a Charmander this turn. That's like the only saving grace. And this matchup is frustrating because every single time I play Charizard, I feel like they have 5 energy Charizard turn 3. And there's the Charmander. Yeah. So, like, we're probably going to see Charmeleon next turn and, like, a whole bunch of just stuff that's super annoying. Honestly. And he's going to go ahead and get 1 off the coin flip. There's just so much of this that's just not good at all. All right. We could get lucky. There's the Giovanni, actually. No Sabrina, though. Terrible. No Dawn, no Sabrina. Leading with Mewtwo against Charizard. He's going to go Charmeleon next turn. I already know. Like, I already know it. Fire always starts Moltres. Water always starts Manaphy. It's true, actually, though. It is kind of true. So, Charmeleon definitely comes down here. Like, I'll tell you right now. The odds of our opponent going... benching Charmander turn 1, no Charmeleon. Pretty crazy, actually. So an early Sabrina is really good because basically it forces him to probably not want to evolve Leaf. We always play this. It feels bad, but we always play Leaf. And I'll tell you why. The funny reason is, like, technically speaking, if he doesn't have Giant Cape, Rocky Helmet plus Red plus Mewtwo actually takes the KO on on Charizard, which is pretty funny. You ever had your opponent open God Hand but then miss all their coin flips? For sure. For sure. Yeah, I've seen it before. Here's the Calm, definitely. Okay, so this has to be a Charmeleon now, right? Hi, Pocket Mads. Thanks for all the great vids you post. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. There's no way he doesn't have Charmeleon here, right? He capes the Moltres. The right play in this matchup, by the way, is caping the Charizard. He Marses us, which is that's crazy. Why is Charizard playing Mars? Do they normally do that? We have Giovanni anyway. Sabrina? No Sabrina. Okay. Well, I think we just start attacking anyway. I think we just start attacking. This man's got 12 cards in deck, so let's thin the deck here with a Pokeball. I did get Mars. Why is Charizard playing Mars? I don't understand that at all. I straight up don't understand. I think we have to attack here, right? Well, actually, maybe not. Because at the very least, he's got 2 turns before he evolves. So if we split energies here, we can retreat Giovanni, KO the Moltres with Mewtwo. Technically be in a pretty good spot, but then we don't have... Nah, I don't think we do that. I think we attack all the way, right? I think we always attack. I would love to see a Rocky Helmet on us right now, but I think we always attack. I think the pressure is always worth it. That actually, to be fair, that Giant Cape was super clutch from our opponent. I'm going to watch my homemade version of Toonami. Enjoy my stream, bro. Hey, thank you so much, Red. Have a good one, brother. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you here. Let's see what he top decks. He top decks another Moltres. Okay. If there's no Charmeleon, then the game's over. Unless we don't draw Sabrina, right? We're getting lucky. Our opponent's getting unlucky is what I should say. Our start was not lucky at all. Like I said, Red and Rocky Helmet actually wins this game anyway for us, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Is he going to attack us? He is. That's interesting. It's a very interesting play from our opponent there. There's the Red. Let's potion the active. Yeah. No Charmeleon there means he loses this game, which is very unfortunate for him, for sure. But you know what? When you play Charizard, this is what you get. Honestly, this is what you deserve. I'm not gonna lie. Red, yo, insane, dude. $10 from investing with Cole. Red, dude. Remember to show your appreciation with a super chat. Thank you so much, good man. Thank you so much. That is incredible, dude. Thank you so much, guys. $10 is nuts, by the way. That's insane. What a guy. Shout out to Red. By the way, guys, we're on a streak here. We're only at 47 points away. Could we do this? Could we do this early on? Hitting early, like, listen, I'm jinxing myself for sure, but yeah, big W. Thank you so much, Red. Thank you so much, man. I really, really do appreciate that. Let's hop into the next one, guys. Our luck's definitely gonna run out here soon, for sure. You should start Twitch streaming from time to time. I know, man. I would. I just don't have enough time, and that's the issue. Is that I really do like streaming. I'll get all of my audience is on YouTube, so it's tough on Twitch, like when you don't stream on Twitch, like to just like, you know what I mean? Lead with Giratina, research, Cape, Potion, Giovanni in hand. Okay, we're going up against Grass as well. Going second though. Sarthak? Thank you for getting back into Pokemon. I love your vids, bro. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you saying that. Do I think it'll be easier to hit Masters near the end of the month? Yeah, I think it gets easier probably as time goes on. I don't know, though. Like, I think it really just depends on what deck you're playing in the metagame. Because I think, like, right now we're in, like, a heavy grass deck, Meowscarada, like format right now. So depending on, like, what your decks you're playing, it could be easier earlier or later. Yeah, I think for the most part, it should be easier. We're going to Pokeball before research here. Yeah, some tryhards wait to toss up for sure. Okay, so... Okay. There's a lot going on here. We draw Dawn and Leaf. We're just going to bench this Giratina, I think, for sure. We're not going to Rocky Helmet the active, but maybe we Rocky Helmet the... We have Leaf. Which is crazy, right? I think I'd rather save Leaf. I'm just going to commit to the active. I don't think there's any reason not to. I would like a Mars in my hand as well. Really wondering if I should use Charizard for my end push. The crazy thing about Charizard is like you either just draw and you win, or you don't draw and you lose. Like that's the deck, and it does feel kind of annoying that way. It is very like a single player simulator type game. Okay, he goes double evolutions here into the string shot. Terrifying. I'm terrified. I'm scared. Also, like the thing is here. Okay, so the Tails is crazy. So he's got 4 cards in hand, right? I mean, he could have. He could go into Beedrill, right? Which means, like, we don't really want to split energies if he goes Beedrill. Right, which feels bad. Let's just Potion the active, because why not? Yeah, Charizard definitely uses Iono and Comms, for sure. I don't want to split energies, because if he evolves Beedrill here, then, like, he's just going to... We're going to go -1. I mean, technically we have Dawn if that happens, so I guess that's not the biggest deal in the world. River, 13.99? Is that Canadian? Holy cow. Dude, thank you so much, River. Thank you so much, bro. That is incredible. Extraordinarily kind of you, man. Thank you so much. We're splitting here because we have Dawn in hand. If we didn't have Dawn, we wouldn't split, but odds are he's probably going to have Beedrill in hand. He's only got 7 cards in deck, 6 cards in deck. So we're going to see a Beedrill here, and that's unfortunate for sure. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of this that I don't love. And there's Meowscarada. So I think we lose, basically. Turn 3, Meowscarada and Beedrill means we kind of lose. I don't think there's any out to this, personally. If he didn't have Beedrill, then we would have had a shot here. But since there was a Beedrill, there's really no shot. Oh, a Mewtwo. Okay. We still have Leaf, so we put ourselves behind on energy 1 turn, which is really not good. So now I think we have to split to Mewtwo. All of this is bad. None of this is good at all. Whatsoever. Nothing about this is good. I don't think we ever have an out to win this game. Because basically, like, Giant Cape, Beedrill, he's got Erica's in hand. So there's just never a world, I think, where we don't... I think we always lose to turn 3 Beedrill. Crushing Spear. Like, there's nothing we can do about that. It's just, like, when you lead with Weedle and then you end up with Like, there's no world where, like, you don't lose. That Rocky Helmet could be clutch. But is it, though? We could Preemptive Leaf. But I don't think we want to do that. So if we... I think we Rocky Helmet the active and then, like... No, there's just never a world, right? Because we don't have... If we had Mewtwo out a turn earlier, this would have been a different story. But we didn't get Mewtwo first, right? So there's never a world where we do that. Unfortunately. I still think we Rocky Helmet the active. And then we commit Mewtwo here. Yeah. It just doesn't work. Like, if we had Rocky Helmet a turn earlier, or if we had Mewtwo at a turn earlier, then there would have been a chance here. But the issue is, like, we can't... Like, next turn, we can't do 170 with Mewtwo, even if we had Red in hand, which we don't. I mean, technically... Okay, so he actually goes into Meowscarada first, which is a really interesting play, and I think that's kind of a throw from our opponent, if I'm being 100% honest with you here. Because now he goes down to 130, we can go into Giratina, attack. I don't know why he would have done that. I have no idea why he would have ever done that. That's just a crazy play from our opponent. Super crazy play. I don't understand it, though. So yeah, I mean, we always attack. I mean, he's got... Maybe we draw into Mars, though, too. I don't know. None of this ever works, to be honest. He's going to hit us for 80. We're down a PCL and a Potion. He's going to have a Cyrus or a Sabrina in hand. So, like, there's just never a scenario where this works out for us. I'm pretty sure. Pretty certain. I don't think there's ever a scenario where this works out for us. Unless he evolves this Beedrill, I mean, and then, or this Kakuna. So technically, I mean, there's a chance, right? Not a good one, but technically. There's the Mars. So, there's a chance, actually, guys. So we're gonna we're gonna play to our outs here, guys. We're gonna play to our outs. We're going into Mewtwo. We're gonna hit with Psychic Sphere. We're gonna Mars him. Oh no, we can't Mars this turn. LOL. We're throwing. So he definitely has Erica in hand, which is bad. Which means we don't win. Unless we don't see an Erica's, but there's no way he doesn't have Erica's in hand, so. Well, there's the other Beedrill. And there's the Erica. The card we all knew he had. So if he didn't have Giant Cape, then there also would have been a chance, technically speaking. Also, yeah. There's never a world here where we, well, there's the potion. Hold up. Hold up. Hold on, guys. Hold the phone here. Technically still a chance to win, which is astronomically ridiculous, but I think if he just retreats into this Beedrill and then attacks, we also just lose. And there's the PCL. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, because he's discarding the energies, so never a world where we win this, unfortunately. Never a world where we win this. The Giant Cape, 2 clutch. Also, just turn 3 Beedrill is, like I said. We dragged this out, but there's just no winning. We also had Rocky Helmet at turn 2 late. It's unfortunate. Definitely unfortunate. Terrible matchup for us, to be unfair. But we did bring it close. Like, if he didn't have Giant Cape on the Beedrill, you know, there would have been a chance. If you know, he didn't have Dawn, or if he didn't have, like, a second healing card, then we also could have won with Dawn play there. But I mean, it all just comes down to, like, the fact that he was attacking with Beedrill on turn 3. Just, there's nothing most decks, honestly, that can do about that. I guess early on, what we could have done is just threw away that active Giratina, and then we would have been, like, technically +1, but it didn't matter. I don't think there's ever a world where we can beat turn 3 Beedrill attack. They switched to not get helmeted. Yeah, no, I know. If we had helmet a turn earlier, then the Beedrill would have been negative energy, or negative damage, right? Right, you know what I mean? Like, we didn't have helmet for that first Beedrill attack, and he also attacked on turn 3 with Beedrill, so just really nothing that was possible there. And that's the problem, I think, with the Meowscarada decks. Like, they're all stage 2 Pokemon, so it really just comes down to, like, do they get those Pokemon early? And if they do, then you probably lose because, you know, they all attack for 2 energies, right? So, and we're going against another deck of Meowscaradas. We're going first with Mewtwo in the active, which is about as bad as it gets, to be honest. Could draw Leaf, so technically there's still a chance. Leaf or Dawn here does technically give us a chance because we have, yeah, no. It's all bad. Everything about this is bad. Nothing that we want here. We're going to wait to hold the, we're going to wait on that for sure. Can't believe, dude, the people with the donos, dude. Insane. Insane donos. Shout out to River, shout out to Red. Those guys are super, super clutch. The Eevee comes down. Hello. Okay. Yeah, and the issue with the Sprigatito lead as well, which is annoying, is like they just sort of can cry for help, right? And just sort of find their evolutions, which is, again, it just feels bad. He actually attaches to the Eevee, which is crazy. So he's going to go the Leafeon play. Now he goes into the Leafeon. Okay. So, I mean, there's a couple of things that we can do here. He's going to hit us, right? For sure. He's just going to smack us for 20. So that 20 definitely can matter. It kind of forces us to Giant Keep the active, but we can play Sabrina this turn, attach Mewtwo, split the energies here, and then technically, there's Rocky Helmet, actually. I think we always Sabrina. We always Sabrina here, because we have 2 Sabrinas in the deck. So we always Sabrina, because Leafeon has to be in the active spot for that to work. And I think we have to keep the active here. Well, not yet. We don't have to keep anything yet, technically. Leafeon is, what, 140? So maybe Rocky Helmet on the active is actually still correct to start in case he goes into Eevee. I'm actually going to do that. This is risky. I'm kind of thinking ahead, and it might not be the correct thought process ahead, but we are just going to go ahead and commit these right now. Because if he stays in, then what we can do, right, is technically just KO with Mewtwo next turn. If he doesn't evolve, he's got 3 cards in hand. So even if he goes into Eevee, but he can't attack if he does do that. So there's a lot of interesting stuff going on here. all of which is probably not correct. He is going to attach, and is he going to evolve here? Turn 2 evolutions just make me upset. So there's the Leafeon. So again, he's going to go into Leafeon, but he can't attack with Solar Beam yet, which is really big for us. And he's going to cry for help. That's huge. That's massive that he stayed in here because we can KO this thing. So that's huge. We also have a Sabrina in hand, which is crazy. So all really, really important things that have happened in this first turn here. Early Sabrina Giovanni for the win. That's a crazy play. Our opponent did not expect that to happen. I guarantee you that. Nobody expects the Giovanni, which is why it's so good to be playing Giovanni in this deck. Not only to just help against Mewtwo-Giratina, but against, like as we see here, being able to hit for 60 on the Sprigatito is really, really good. So he is going to be able to hit us for 70 now. But again, we have 130. We have Pokemon Center Lady in hand as well, which should put us out of range of getting 2 KO'd unless he has like a damage modifier here. But the other funny thing we can do technically is Sabrina again if we wanted to, but I don't think we ever do that. I think we always because we just have to KO the Leafeon now, right? So we hold the Sabrina for later on the game if we need to KO on the Leafeon. So I think we just take this Solar Beam and then we PCL attached to. Actually, attacking might not even be. Yeah, I don't think we ever attack. Actually, I think we always split here to guarantee next turn. The Rocky Helmet's pretty clutch. It might not matter, but the potion too. Okay, so I think that's GG. I think we kind of locked this one in actually, which suffice to say is due to some of these important inclusions. Is this better than Gary to climb with if you just hit Ultra Ball 4? I mean, I think Gyarados is actually like vying for the #1 spot. People tend to not like Gyarados a lot. But the reality is that Gyarados is so good. It just requires you to draw. C-Dub, hey Mads, are you getting more value from 2 Sabrinas than 1 Cyrus instead? For sure. Like in this metagame, like in the decks that we're playing here in Ultra Ball 4, I will say 1000%. Yeah, like without question, 2 Sabrina it definitely feels way better right now. And also, the Shaman bench is terrible. Also benching, or sorry, what is it? What are we talking about? Also, cutting out 1 red is also really clutch as well. Red used to be an important win condition, and it still is, but way less decks. Like, you're going up against these, like, Mewtwo-Giratina decks way more often now, so it just doesn't feel nearly as good. And that's going to be the dub. Shout out to this guy here. We're doing okay. What are we, 5-1? 4-1? I mean, we might get there tonight. Salt in the wound. The BM's crazy. But yeah, to answer your question... 2 Sabrina seems good right now, and also like cutting out 1 red for Mars also feels good right now. Just considering the decks that we're going up against, I love like 1 Rocky Helmet, 1 Giovanni, 2 Sabrina, and 1 Mars. It really just makes me feel like the matchup against all of these Mewtwo-Giratina decks, and even the fighting decks as well, are really clutch. Like the Giovanni is insane against the fighting decks as well because they like things like Hitmonlee and Marshadow have 80 HP. Mewtwo hits for 50 with that first attack, but it hits for weakness on those fighting Pokemon, which is 70, but with Giovanni, that's 80, so we can take the KO in those Pokemon as well for 2 energies. It really does come in clutch. Like, 1 Giovanni is super correct, I think, at least in the format right now. Yeah, that's my opinion. If any of that makes sense to you. Also, like, day 1 of the Ursa Days tournament it wrapped up today. So at the end of the stream, if we hit Master Balls, we're going to go ahead and we're going to check out that the day 1 results. A little sneak peek for you guys here. A little Meta Monday sneak peek. Tomorrow's my birthday, so there will be no stream or no video tomorrow. Nothing tomorrow. I don't know what accent that is. Just being weird. Illuminati G, yes please. Let's check that out. Yeah, definitely going to check that out here. So, no Pokemon this turn. Feels bad. Preemptive Rocky Helmet for sure. For sure. The upside, though, here is that he can't attack next turn, so I think that's an upside. I mean, that's how I look at it. Sabrina in hand as well, so, I mean, I don't love this matchup. Again, like, if you notice, all we're playing are these grass decks. All we're playing are these grass decks, because it's just it's the #1 deck if you're going against these Giratina decks, and that's just how people, like, that's how people think about it. Yeah, he's not going to attack us there. Good. He didn't bench anything either, which is pretty wild. We're just going to do this. So if we don't see a Giant Cape, and if he attacks with Executor next turn, he goes down to 140. With Giovanni, we take the kill on his active next turn. So if we don't see a Giant Cape on this active here, we're kind of in a pretty decent spot. If he even has Executor, right? And you know, the thing is with these grass decks is like they are on paper like so good against like Giratina and Darkrai and Mewtwo and all that stuff, but the issue realistically is that they're running so many evolution Pokemon that these decks are inherently inconsistent. So no giant cape that's big. Does he have the Executor? Any Executor? Wow. See, he's getting unlucky here. Like, but that's the thing. Thank you, Illuminati. Thank you so much. Thoughts on including blue? If you were hitting the mirror match a lot, blue would be good. But I just don't hit the mirror nearly as much right now. Just everybody's playing grass decks. That's really all it comes down to here. I don't think we ever play Sabrina here. Do we? Do we actually play Sabrina here? We actually do. That's crazy. Like, we actually play Sabrina here because if he does evolve next turn, we definitely would rather him evolve that bench execute because it's going to be in range of getting KO'd unless he has Erika's. But we have Rocky Helmet on as well. We also don't take the Rocky Helmet damage, so. The streamer told everyone to play Meow decks to see how it stacks and then tell everyone the difference since that vid. Yeah, I mean, Meowscarada's... It's what everyone's playing right now. Not facing a lot of Mewtwo-Giratina in Ultra 4. My guess it becomes more popular as time goes on. Again, I just think a lot of those people playing those decks were getting absolutely rolled by Meowscarada, so they just sort of swapped off, and now they're also playing grass decks. And I think that's how it goes. Honestly, I think that's kind of what happened. Also, like, Giratina Darkrai is really not that good. I mean, I think it is good, but it's not nearly... None of the Darkrai decks are as well positioned as they were early on. The best counter to Meows is probably Charizard or Gyarados. I think those are the big counters. Let's go. Let's go. We're cruising. Let's go, guys. Get pumped. A Master Ball tonight, maybe. We're going to jinx it. But Master Ball tonight, maybe. If we don't get super unlucky from here on out. 34 points away. Let's go, Bedro. Let's go, C-Dub. Let's go. Let's go, guys. Thanks for tuning in, homies. 200 people. Let's go. You guys are awesome. You guys are massively, massively awesome. What's our win rate? 68.8. You know, I was really hoping to be 70 plus, but it's just Ultra Ball. Being above 70% win rate through Ultra Ball 4 is just not possible. Jose, or is that how you say that? Jose? I don't know. I'm so bad at with names, so I apologize. But Jay Chang, hey man, nice to catch the stream. Thanks for all the videos. I keep updated. Thanks to you and TCG Pocket Med and stuff. Thank you, dude. I really, really appreciate that. And I'm glad you're enjoying it. Always lead with Giratina. Always, by the way. Like, especially when we're going against Dark, always lead Giratina. There's never a reason not to. Mewtwo is your win condition. We're not going to bench the other one yet. 68% is nasty. Dude, we were at 73%. Like, all the way up until Ultra 4. And then it just became so much more annoying. Like, oh my god, that Pokeball is so bad. Most popular pairing with Meowscarada? Beedrill's the most popular, for sure. Because the high roll of either getting either of those stage 2s on turn 1 is just astronomical. So it's like almost always worth, I think. I don't know. It's tough. Like Arceus with Meowscarada is also really good, like with Carnivine, because it's so aggressive as well. So from a win rate perspective, that might be up there. But I think most people are running it with Beedrill for sure, I would say. But yeah, dude, we were at, like, again, we were at like 71, 70. Another Pokeball. What are these draws? What are we doing here? We have all our Pokemon. Definitely Potion the active all day, every day. We could Mars this turn as well. But I don't like playing Mars. Personally. You know, actually, double active there might have been correct. Because we have Geo in hand, but whatever. It's okay. It's alright. I think we misplayed. There's the cape, yeah, so it wouldn't have mattered. Did not matter. Did not matter whatsoever. We are definitely attaching to Mewtwo, so ended up being correct there. So if we don't top deck... Yeah, I think we pop Mars this turn. I just don't want him to hit us with like an attached red. So I think we always do that. I think we bench this Giratina as well. Protect the Sabrina play. I think we have to Mars here. I know he only goes -2, but I just do not want to get hit with like red right now. I really do not. I'm doing it. Can I ask why you play the empty Pokeballs? I've been holding on to for Iono. I play them in case I get Marsed, right? We want to just get rid of the cards out of our hand because if we get Marsed or we get red carded or whatever, they go back into our deck and they're dead cards. So we would rather just do that. I think for sure. Okay, we always still go active here. Like I said, I mean, if he attaches and then hits us with like a red, then we go down anyway. There's really nothing we can do about that. No red, so that's clutch. We're chilling. Absolutely chilling here. The other weird part though about all of this is like, yeah, I mean, it's awkward, right? This is super awkward, but if we have to, we can always just go into Mewtwo, hit for Psychic or Side Drive, Psychic Sphere rather, not Side Drive. Yeah, because if we attack, we go down, and we can't have that, right? So I think we always just leave here, or we could play Research, not leave, and have the option of manually retreating out, going down -2 on this Giratina, but possibly drawing into Potion to bring it up to 30. Is that any better, though? Because we also have 2 Giant Capes in the deck. I think that's technically better, and I think we hold Leaf. That's a weird play. It's a weird thought process, but yeah, okay. Well, it didn't really work out, did it? Okay, that's fine. So we're just going to attach Retreat into this Mewtwo. And now what's funny here is that I think we always Rocky Helmet the Mewtwo. No, there's no reason to Rocky Helmet that Mewtwo, right? We Rocky Helmet this Giratina, which is also a terrible play, but we're doing it anyway. And actually, I don't think it's ever worth it to attack either, so we're just going to go ahead and Broken Space Bellow this guy. This is all terrible. Like, we're in a lot of, like, this is super awkward, basically, because we didn't draw, like, any of a Potion or a PCL or anything like that, or Giant Cape, so we couldn't just stay in with that Giratina, and he probably has Cyrus in hand. No, he doesn't. Okay. Rocky Helmet to the bench. He's going to manually attach to it, but he has to attack this turn, probably. So I don't think we're in a bad spot at all. Also, Dawn wins us the game. So do we ever lose here? No second Giratina, or Darkrai is crazy for us. 2 Rocky Helmet, 1 Giant Cape. Okay. So we definitely get smacked here. And that stinks. For us. Go down to 30. That's actually still big, though. The red doesn't really matter. We always just attach Geo. And we KO here. But having 2 Pokemon so low is really scary because we haven't drawn any potions or anything. So this is really, like, terrifying. But I don't really see, like, we have so many outs here, like, so many outs. Like, any of our Giant Capes, our potions massively increase our odds of winning here. Also, we have Dawn to just, like, hit for 1 fit. We have 6 cards in deck. So Dawn's in our deck. I think most cards in our deck at this point really do help us win. And he can't even attack. Like, because the main issue when you're playing Dark Giratina is that you're not playing Psychic Energies, which means, like, he's attaching this Dark Energy here, but he's still 3 turns away from being able to attack with either of these Giratina, because the only way to get Psychic Energy onto them is to use the ability. Potion or Cape does kind of lock this for us, but also if we top deck Dawn, we win. This Cyrus doesn't matter at all. Whatsoever. It doesn't matter at all. Happy birthday, says Robert. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Currently at Ultra Ball 2 with Lucario Rampardos. Giant Cape. That always goes on the Mewtwo. And then we can just take our sweet time here and do nothing. And just do this. Sorry. What was this? Chang. I'm currently Ultra Ball 2 with Lucario Rampardos, thinking of switching to Hitmonlee Rampardos. Yeah, I would swap. There's another dub, guys. Let's go. I would swap to Hitmonlee Rampardos. Personally, I think it's better. I think... I don't know, it's tough, right? Because, like, you do have the Sudowoodo Lucario shenanigans, which can just win you games outright because it's so aggressive. But Hitmonlee itself is just so good, and then you're not playing, like, those 4 copies of Lucario in your deck, so it increases your odds to lead. You lean into the Hitmonlee strategy, but you're a little bit more reliant on, like, drawing the fossil. So, technically, it has a better win rate because, of course, Gyarados is so common, so Hitmonlee is so highly valued as well. So, I don't know. It's interesting, but I think it's probably better right now. Poppy Dopey. Would you run the Dark Tina only deck, or would you run the one with Arceus included? I don't think Arceus is really ever worth running, to be fair, in Darkrai or anything. If I had to cut Mars in my deck, what would I replace it with? Probably just another red or maybe a second Pokemon Center Lady as well. Going against Charizard, going second with Mewtwo. Okay. This wouldn't be terrible if we had Giovanni in our hand, but we don't. We do have 2 Sabrinas, though. So, I mean, the cape on the Charmander, yeah, that's terrible for us. But we are going second. I don't know. This is such an interesting start. Also, the Pokeball's sick. That's a sick top deck here. I'm hopeful, but I know I should not be hopeful in this scenario whatsoever. Like I know it's not right to be hopeful at all, but I am. I'm very hopeful, personally. Is there an argument for having 2 Dawns? So Dawn is interesting. The problem with Dawn is, of course, you can't Giovanni, and ooh, the X speed's crazy. That's crazy. That's a crazy play from our opponent. He had X speed in his hand. That's nuts. Is there an argument for having 2 Dawns? I don't know, because you can't two. What is going on here? Did our opponent actually just go double Charmander, X speed into Moltres? That's a crazy play. That was out of all of the things he could have done that turn, that might have been the most like relevant thing that he could have possibly done, I think. Because now I don't want to, because I don't see a Charmeleon yet, and we didn't see one last turn, so I don't think I even want to play Sabrina now. I think we hold it. Although, no, I think we still play Sabrina, because we have another one. So I think we still play Sabrina, but I don't think we attack. I think we still split energies, but yeah, that's crazy. Maybe we attack. Do we? Do we? Do we attack? What does attacking do for us? Nothing, right? It doesn't do anything for us. If we had Giovanni in hand, we definitely would, but not kicking the KO in attacking doesn't make sense. Thanks for the advice. No problem, bro. Ultra Ball 4, should I keep running Gyarados or with this deck? You know, I mean, it really just... I honestly, I think the number one thing is whatever you feel a second X speed is crazy. If we top deck Dawn here, we win the game. So what I would say is play the deck that you're most comfortable with and most confident with. I think, in my mind, that's the most important thing. No matter what deck you're playing, is to like play a deck that you think is good and that you know how to play confidently. 3 Tails is crazy, by the way. That's a crazy thing to have happen. Rocky Helmet as well is also crazy. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Rocky Helmet actually doesn't matter here. I was considering Rocky Helmet and Giratina and leafing into it, but that's never the play, I don't think. Because he's got cape on this Charmander. If there wasn't a cape on the Charmander, then that honestly would be the play, because we would kind of force a checkmate on the Charizard, but... I think because we have Sabrina in hand, this game's over, right? I think so. I could be wrong, but that's how I see it. I don't think we ever helmet Mewtwo. There's no reason to helmet Mewtwo. Save Sabrina to go around Charizard just in case. Yeah, I mean, right. The second Moltres also kind of bothers us, though, because that kind of means like, man, if we drew Dawn early in this game, we could have just been like we could have guaranteed the win. But like, again, our opponent's playing Charizard, so this is what happens: is like you don't find your stage 1 evolutions, and then you can't do anything. And that's just how that's how these decks work. It's the same with like Meowscarada, although Meowscarada is a bit better because you can use Sprigatito's attack. But in general, like that's just how it goes. Robert, $10? Dude, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, Robert? Are you serious? There's no way. That's insane, dude. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's awesome. That is incredible. I think now we Rocky Helmet. For birthday packs? Yo, thank you so much, bro. Is that why you guys are donoing? Because it's my birthday? You don't have to do that. I really appreciate it, though. Goodbye, Moltres. Dawn, we win the game next turn. But if he also just doesn't draw Charmeleon, then we also win the game next turn. That's awesome, bro. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So yeah, I mean, honestly, the thing that we don't have Dawn in our hands, and then, well, I mean, so we have Giovanni, we have Red, we have Dawn. Like, all of those cards win us the game. We have 10 cards left in our deck here. He top decks the Pokecom, so he has a Pokemon in his hand, which could be the Charizard. It actually probably is a Charizard, so now he could go Charmeleon, but if he doesn't have... if that was the Charizard, then he just took it out of his hand. Yeah, okay, he's going to lose. Dang, guys. We are rolling. We are doing it. Sabrina into Giratina wins. That's also true. If he didn't evolve. Oh, no, even if he did. You're right. Good call. Good call, Aeon. You're a smart man. 14 points, so unfortunately we have to win 2 more games, but I haven't been thinking of my opponents, I don't think. I'm a bad person. I am a bad person. Okay. Let's do it. We're due for a loss here, but we don't get discouraged if we lose. That just means we have more games for you guys, right? What is that guy's name? What is this guy's name? What is it? What does that say? He's obviously playing a grass deck. Amogus, Applefus, what is that? Going first. Dark, okay. Leading Mewtwo, going first. Awesome. Exactly what we want to see here. On the verge. Exactly what we want here, on the verge of Master Ball. At least we have Pokeball, so we can Giratina turn 1. Oh, we have Dawn, too. This could get spicy. This could get spicy. Preemptive Dawn, anybody? Turn 3 Mewtwo? Anybody? Keeping them Mewtwo all day. What does it say? Amogus Apfelmus. It's like a Harry Potter thing, I think. Hi from Germany. How many games have you played in total? I think like 260 or whatever. Something like that. Maybe a little more. And we're 2 wins away from our opponent's going turn 1 Professor's Research, the luckiest man alive, into Pokeball. You know, like, I honestly, more than anything in the game is when I get tilted when my opponent goes, like, first 2 turns, they just go, like, Pokeball Research. Like, that makes me angrier than anything. Although, with no Dark right here is crazy. Is actually crazy here. And what we do here, well, does it? Going first feels bad, but I think we always Dawn. May seem like a terrible play, but I think we always just Dawn. Because I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Dawn, nice. Yeah, I don't know. That might not matter, to be honest with you. But again, he's playing Dark, so like he's 2 turns from now away from attacking with these Giratinas. Like, that's the main downside to the deck, is that he can't, like, Turbo because he's not running Psychic Energies. That's just the inherent, like, dyssynergy with this deck. Like, he can't attack us next turn. You know what I mean? He can't. So that's it inherently gives us an advantage, I think. And there's a red, which means Giratina could take a little KO here. Let's Rocky Helmet this Giratina, maybe force a tie, worst case scenario. Never attacking, because we have red in hand. Gonna be tough matchup. Dark Art Giratina decks give this Mewtwo deck the most trouble. I think otherwise, personally. I think my win rate against Dark Art Giratina is tremendously high, and that's my opinion. Cape the active? Yeah, good play, my sir. Too bad we have red. And this is why. And, you know, and like, it's so funny to me. Everything that just happened over the last 15 seconds is hilarious, because this man in the comment section, right, was saying that this is a tough matchup. And I think a lot of people would think that it's a tough matchup. But the problem is Mewtwo hits for 150. That's 170. We got Mars'd. There's no way he hit us with Mars there. Why would he hit us with Mars? We have 4 cards in our hand. Why would he ever do that? Why would he ever hit us with Mars? Who would ever do that? Who would ever do that? And we don't have, and we did get Mars into Sabrina. That's hilarious. That's crazy to me. That's awesome, actually. Shout out to this guy. Because now he can just, yeah, now he can red and KO us. So if he goes attach, red, KO, then we lose. Stream snipe? Yeah, maybe. Maybe he did stream snipe. That's hilarious. I mean, we could just still attack him, and then he would get KO'd himself. Is that actually still the play? I think it is, actually. Because if he has red, then we lose, so there's the red. So I think we have to attack him here, which feels bad, but I think we have to force that. We have to basically force that to happen. I mean, the fact that we drew into red means that whole play makes more sense. But again, attacking him here, unless he has one potion. Let's say he has potion in red in his hand with 8 cards in deck, then if he does, then he deserves to win, right? I mean, what else can we do here? Cape, okay. I like the cape play. Am I still at 70% win rate? I haven't checked. I'm probably 69 or something like that. Let's see the red. Let's see it. Let's see the red. I want to see it. Show me the red. And the other up thing with Mewtwo is that with Cape we're at 170. So he can't KO us no matter what. Like, that's, again, the big downside here. He's going to Sabrina us. Sure. Go ahead, buddy. Do it. That's fine. And then I think... Is he actually going to KO us? He is. What a crazy play, dude. This guy's a madman. He's getting rid of the Rocky helmet, so I guess to him that's sort of an upside, right? But we're at 170. Like, he can't KO us next turn. He could Mars us, but he already Marsed us, so... but I just don't think we ever lose here, right? I don't think there's ever a world where we can lose. How do we lose this game? Other than, like, Team Rocket Grunt, right? He can't KO us next turn because we're at 170, right? So even red plus Darkrai attached plus whatever KO hit weakness is 140. Like, he can't KO us next turn, and we KO no matter what next turn because we have red in hand, and we're going to have 4 energies on Mewtwo, right? Attacking here technically is definitely worth it. So we'll just do that, but... I don't know how we lose. Unless we get Team Rocket grunted, which, you know... Let's be honest. I've seen crazier things happen. May I ask you the same person that used to work with Zach back in the days? Are you talking Zach Lesage, if that's what you're talking about? I used to hang out and play and do a lot of stuff with Zach back in the day, back when I was covering the official Pokemon TCG. For sure. So if you're talking about Lesage, then yes. And big shout out to Zach Lesage. I think he's awesome. Red now? No, there's never reason to red here. I don't think we can lose. I think we're in a win-win scenario, especially since he didn't play Rocket Grunt there. So I think we have to win, for sure. Pretty sure. Yeah. All right, guys. The pressure is on now. The real pressure is on because if we lose this game, this is our winning in, and it feels bad because again, I don't want to lose. For sure, we're 4 points away, which is super funny. Yeah, that's why I've been following. I've been following you for the longest. Yeah, shout out, dude. Shout out to you. We are at 69.2%. All right, guys. Prayer hands. Prayer hands in the chat. Everybody, send your prayers and your best all your best wishes here as we go into our potentially final game until Master Ball rank. That would be super ideal. I would love if you guys did that for me here. This deck works with only one Giratina. It does technically, but I think it's much worse with only one Giratina because Giratina is definitely the Pokemon you would rather start with, but also you definitely just want it at least on your board on your first turn. So like running an extra Giratina further increases that odds. Also, like there are scenarios where that third Pokemon does win you the game, so I think it's much better with much better with two Giratina. All right, we're doing it. We're doing it, guys. Am I nervous? I'm nervous, but I'm not going to be upset if we lose. That's the one thing to keep in mind. If you lose, it just happens that way, and we are kind of due for a loss here. Can you explain how you're using Sabrinas that you prefer them to Cyrus? Basically, you can just, early game force a Pokemon out of the active. It's just, I think, better against a lot of those multi-evolution decks. We're going first, going against Dark, and we're leading with Mewtwo. Oh, no. Not great. That is not great. Not good. Oh, it's Arceus. Still not good. Although Arceus lead, I'm not that as terrified of, I'll be honest with you. Two Sabrinas, Giant Cape, Pokeball in hand. These are scenarios where an early Dawn would feel great, but you should be able to stay at Master once you get there, but you can drop to Ultra. I know. That's why I honestly, if I hit Master right now, I might just, I might just go straight into, taking a look at the Ursiday's Day 1. I might just cut it here if we end up hitting Masters. This might be a short stream. I didn't think it would take this long, but we went on an absolute tear, which is funny. So we'll see here. There's the Giratina, so at least he got that Giratina out turn 1. But he's attaching to the Arceus. That makes sense, actually. That does make sense. Can I do some pack openings later? Sure, dude. We'll crack some packs like right now. Right after this. Ooh, the Dawn. The Dawn's crazy. That Dawn is nuts. Probably all for naught if we don't, like, draw. Well, we'll see. This is it right here. Don't say that. Don't jinx it. Please. Please do not jinx it. I appreciate the support, though. Let's go, hopefully. There's the cape. We have Sabrina's, though, so we can go down for the Giratina first of all, right? We can always do that. Oh, he's got his own Dawn plays. Oh, no. Oh, Nelly. That's terrible for us. That's actually terrible. We instant Dawn there, basically, to just, like, give ourselves, like, a better chance of KOing next turn with Mewtwo, basically. Double Potion here, plus Sabrina. I deserved the Master Ball. I don't know. I don't know if I would say that, period. He's got 3 cards in deck. Bringing up the Giratina here, I think, could be a game-winning play, but we'll see. It could be, could not be as well, if we're being honest. So, that Sabrina play, honestly, in hindsight, probably isn't even that good of a play, but I think it is because we have another Sabrina. He might Dawn attack turn 4. I mean, he already Dawned, so, like, I mean, honestly, so, okay, so he's in the active. So the real question here is, do we just bring up this Arceus and then hit it with, like, do we Sabrina and then just hit it with Mewtwo? That's the, well, now we definitely don't. Oh man, oh man. Okay. This is such an awkward situation. Giovanni does give us the technically the chance here. I don't think we attack yet. This is tough because Giratina can't KO Arceus without, it just can't. So, like, we kind of have to get out of Mewtwo in the active spot, basically. Oh, he's got Leaf. He had Leaf in hand. That's terrible for us. Yeah, that's a GG. GG, sirs. This man's crazy. He had the Leaf play. He had the Leaf. Yeah, or he had the Dawn and then the Leaf play. This man had everything he needed. He really did. He really did. Also had all of the basics, like, so that's just crazy, right? Nothing we could have done. Genuinely nothing we could have done here. Tough. R.I.P. boys. Rest in peace, the Master Ball dream. This man really did it to us. He really did. He did the exact perfect play that he needed to. There's a second Giratina. Matthew Lynn, $5. Hi, Mads. Happy birthday. Do you think people get intimidated when playing Gira Mewtwo because of how complex it is, even though you think it has a decent win rate? I think that's part of it. I think it could be part of it for sure. I mean, overall, I would say, who does he go into here? He goes into, yeah, okay. I think we lose either way. The leading with Mewtwo there means we lose, I think, no matter what. Like, the fact that our Mewtwo got stuck in the active, and then he had the Dawn, turn earlier combo with Arceus just means that we lose, I think. I think that's really what it came down to. I just don't think that there was ever a world where if he didn't play the Dawn, then we won this game. If he did play the Dawn, then we lost this game. And I think that's really all it is. Honestly. Yeah, him having Leaf's crazy. Insane. Hey, listen. I knew it. I knew we were due for the loss, okay? I knew we were due for the loss. If we had a PCL as well, maybe we could have won that. But the fact that he went Dawn into Leaf there is nuts. Like, he had everything he needed. He had everything he needed. He did it. Now we're actually still now we're 2 games away because we're at 11 points, which is rough. We're about to go on tilt, and we're gonna lose like 5 games. Matthew, shout out for the super there or the chat. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Can I show the best Wug Trio deck? I don't have the best Wug Trio deck, brother. I honestly don't. I don't know what it is, and I haven't played Wug Trio a lot myself. I think the problem with Wug Trio is that it's a lot of hindsight. It was better to Sabrina instead of Dawn. I don't think it mattered. It didn't matter whatsoever. because Mewtwo in the act of just taking that early damage on turn 3 just meant we lost. Like, there wasn't any way around it, to be honest with you. He either was able to attack that turn or he lost, and then he attacked that turn, so he didn't lose. That's kind of how that went, which is unfortunate, but such is life. And now we're going against Charizard, which means, you know, Charizard things are bound to happen. No Sabrina's in hand. We do have Research, 2 Cape, and a Potion. None of those cards are helpful at all in this matchup, if we're honest with you. No Charmander bench is huge, and we do see a Dawn. Okay. Okay. Another Research and another Pokeball. Okay. If this is Mewtwo, we split. It's not Mewtwo, we don't split. Not splitting the energies. Going all in here. Giant Cape just doesn't help us, so we're never going to Giant Cape here. Hopefully we get lucky. I mean, our opponent could just not draw well, but... is there any card that you're currently chasing right now? Yeah, I want my second gold Pokeball. I only have one, and I've been really hoping for a second one. That Giant Cape's annoying as well. Super annoying. Second, he's got both Researches, as do we, but that's really good for him as well, unless we draw like a Mars here. He Pokecoms, which means he doesn't even have a basic still, which is crazy. 9 cards in deck. That could be the basic right there. If he Pokecoms into the basic, that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. So he's got... Yeah, he's got... Oh, no, he had Pokeball anyway. Okay. I don't like this at all, yeah. I don't like this at all. Unless he just doesn't have Charmeleon next turn, we just don't win. I don't think there's ever a world where we win, which feels bad. Gets 1 energy there off the flips. Okay. Okay. Yeah, the Mars. Do we do it to him? Is it really worth Marsing this turn? It's only -1 card for his hand. 8 cards in deck here. Like, this card is crazy for Charizard turn 2, right? The fact that he's moved through that much of his deck. He's got to have Charmeleon in his hand, right? Although he did just play Pokecom, so... If he Pokecommed, it was probably away the Charizard. We gotta risk it. We do. We're gonna hold Mars for next turn. I'm gonna play Research this turn. Maybe find the Mewtwo. We found the Mewtwo. We did find the Mewtwo, but no Rocky Helmet. Rocky Helmet technically gives us a win condition here. But we also need Red and Rocky Helmet, which we've drawn neither of them. Rocky Helmet Red combo with Mewtwo. There's the Charmeleon. Yeah, he had it. Good for him. We do have the Sabrina. We do have Sabrina, technically. How many does he get here? That's a big question, right? If we see Charizard, 2 energies is huge for him. If we see Charizard next turn, then that's pretty bad for us. But what we can do is Sabrina this turn. I think Sabrina's better than Mars here for sure. There's the Rocky Helmet. Crazy, actually. We don't need to attack this turn. We're going to play Sabrina. We're going to play Sabrina. Now we just need the red. If we draw into the red here, then technically we have like a chance. But the thing is, we also don't have Giovanni either. So like next turn, we're not even able to attack. There's a lot of things here that could go extremely bad for us. But if we draw into red, then does Charizard run Sabrinas? I don't know. I've seen Charizard play a lot of different cards, I'll be honest with you here. If he's got Leaf and Charizard in hand, then we lose the game. There's no if, and, or buts about that. If we get attacked by Charizard this turn, the game's over. But if we don't, he's going to attach the active. And he does have the Charizard. And he probably has X-Speed, which means, yeah, we lose the game, I think. That's tough. That stinks. That stinks. It does feel bad. No attack here means, yeah. Okay. So, Charizard, X-Speed. He's going to KO the active here. He does go down to 2 energies, though. So, like, technically... Oh, wait. He's not attacking. This is super sketch. If we draw into red here, we're down 2 research. If we draw into red, then technically we have a chance, which is crazy to say, but we need red. He's going to go to... Oh, no, we don't even. We just need red or Giovanni, actually, technically, to win this game. That's not red or Giovanni, unfortunately, for us. Let's just get rid of these cards, I guess. Hi, Matt. Do you think Celebi in Superior deck is a difficult opponent when you use Giratina Mewtwo deck? I don't know. I've never gone against it so far in this format. It's funny to say. Okay, so here's where we're at here. Because we have Rocky Helmet on the Giratina, basically, we have 6 cards in deck. One of those is red. One of those is Giovanni. So 2/3 of our deck are basically out to possibly win this game. If we don't draw any of them, we lose. Because he's going to attack with Charizard next turn. And there's nothing we can really do there. So this game, unfortunately, just comes down to, do we draw one of those 2 cards, technically. That's all this comes down to, unless he has a second Giant Cape and he puts it on the Charizard, in which we do lose this game. But technically speaking, if we top deck Giovanni or red, we have one of each in the deck here, we can win this game. Which is, again, crazy, but it's true. We have one Sabrina. I think we have a potion. That means we lose. That means we lose. He does have Sabrina. Okay, all right. Well, that's tough. That feels bad. Feels bad, man. R.I.P. Our opponent had the Sabrina. He had it with 5 cards in deck. Feels bad. Definitely feels bad. Do you think Celebi in Superior deck is a difficult opponent? No, I already read that one. It's depressing just how many games in Pokemon Pocket come down to deck order, who goes first, no outs at all. I mean, yeah, it feels bad for sure, like in a lot of different ways, but Sabrina here technically gives us a chance as well. He's crazy. It's a crazy thing to say, but it's the case. That's our last Sabrina though, so I don't think we ever have a chance. Unfortunately. Right? Because he's Sabrina there, we lose. There's nothing we can do. Yeah. Yep. GG. This is my favorite deck right now. I would say Mewtwo-Giratina. It's good. Unfortunately, like I said, I mean, our opponent just literally, like, he played the one card he needed to win the game in that scenario. Yes, he had 6 cards left in deck, but I assume he's running one Sabrina. So for him to have it there is pretty unfortunate for us for sure. But, there's a lot of things. Like, he could have not had Sabrina. He could have had just one less energy on the Charizard, and we could have won this game. Like, there's, when you're playing against Charizard, like, it really just comes down to, like, do they have the cards they need to win? And, like, if they do, like, you can't win. That's just what it comes down to. You also had early cape for the Moltres as well. That loss doesn't actually mean anything because we're still two wins away. So the stream has been extended. Let's just say that we're able to stream for a bit longer now. Hopefully we don't go on tilt though and lose too many games in a row because that would feel bad. But you can't get upset about it. You got to reset. Okay, sometimes you lose to Charizards who just draw the Infinity Stones. The Potion Seller finally caught a live stream. Hope I'm doing well. I am doing well. You can fall out of Master. Yes, you can. Now comes a 10-loss streak, Gilmer. Yeah, honestly, I would not be surprised. Especially leading with Mewtwo against a grass deck. I would not be surprised. Technically, we can Giovanni KO the active, so it's there's worse things that technically could be the case, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Rocky Helmet is nuts. Actually. Do we ever Rocky Helmet the active? I don't think so. Let's research. Let's research and hopefully he doesn't evolve next turn. That's, I think, kind of all it comes down to. Stream until I hit Master, no matter how long. That's the plan, but you know what? This could go backwards and we could be here all night here. Giant Cape definitely dampers our plans here for sure. If we see a Floragato, I'm crying. If this is an Attach Evolve here, I'm crying. No, he Marses us, which I'm also crying. That's terrible. That's a terrible play. It's insane to me, though, that like he just goes like, let me just attach Cape and then play Mars. It's like, what? You know what I mean? Like, what are the odds that this man does that? Crazy in my mind. We always attack here, which doesn't feel great, but we always attack. Because we got to get the damage down. Because he didn't evolve. There's the Giovanni. Doesn't matter anymore because he had Cape. But so, a lot of scenarios here that can happen. He can bench more than one benched Pokemon, evolve, retreat, could put us in a terrible position. He's going to evolve anyway, attach, and he's got Eric. Oh, man, please, just help me here. This is awful. It's just so bad. Everything about this is so bad. We do have Leaf, though, so that's like the one saving grace, I think. Not that it's any better, but technically speaking, we don't lose this turn. These people, man, they don't stop. They just have all of the cards. They got everything they need. It's never enough for them. It's never enough. Literal just infinity stones. Mars on that deck is rare. Yeah, I mean, so is like Giant Cape into Erica's into Evolve here, and then probably into Red KO, if we're being honest. No. Okay. Listen. It's not over, technically. Unless we get hit with a... it's not over unless we get hit with a Cyrus, and then it is over. Which would feel bad, right? Thoughts on Pikachu right now? I think Pikachu's fine. Do I think old Charizard EX is still better than the new one? Yeah, I do, actually. I do. I say that with full confidence. Yeah, I do. Giovanni can let us take the K with Mewtwo, but again, if he Cyruses us next turn, then we lose, right? So, it do be like that. What do I think the most brain-dead degenerate deck is to play? Probably like Charizard. It's probably Charizard or Gyarados because they just sort of do the same thing every game, and like if they draw the cards they need, then you lose, and then if they don't, then you don't lose. You know what I mean? And that's just what it comes down to here. A second Cape on a Sprigatito. If we see red here, no red. Okay. It's terrible. This is not good for us, really. If he evolves next turn, then it's basically still over for us, which feels bad. We could see the Mars. If we draw into Mars here, that could be big. But, I mean, we're going to play Giovanni anyway, right? So, I guess that doesn't really matter. Still a world where we win this. It's becoming less and less likely as our opponent just slaps a bunch of Pokemon and capes down. But, technically speaking, we can still win. Articuno 18 Trainer, yeah. To be fair, Articuno 18 Trainer has probably a little bit more play, like skill expression than like Charizard or Gyarados does, which it might be a hot topic there, but I think it's actually true. We have Dawn, so I think this is GG actually. Unless we get Marsed again. Yeah, because he's going to evolve here. Dawn actually won us the game, which is hilarious. That's crazy. We got lucky for once. Do I think you can replace Leaf with X-Speed? No, I don't. I think Leaf is basically needed. I think Leaf is basically needed. Just like one copy of Dawn's needed because it just wins you so many games. You know what I mean? There we go. Okay, so now we're back again to being one win away, I think. Which is so... It's every time we're... Man, but anyway, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to jinx it. I'm not going to jinx myself. Technically, we are right there yet again. Yeah, honestly, the skill ceiling, I think that Mewtwo has a massive skill ceiling, especially like in the mirror match. And I think the grass decks do actually have a decent amount of skill ceiling, not in terms of like playing around your opponent. I think it's just about sequencing properly, and I think that deck definitely is a big part of playing that deck well, is just sequencing properly. And I think the Arceus, Turbo Arceus has a lot of skill expression, but realistically, I think any deck that isn't super reliant on just drawing the cards, but in terms of like using the cards properly. If the cards are drawn correctly, what's the best deck right now? Charizard, for sure. Yeah, Charizard drawn perfectly, it beats every deck, no matter what. Turn 3, 5, 6 energy, Charizard wins, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. Everyone send your energy. Spirit Bomb, let's do it. Spirit Bomb, Nabrix, let's go. No more win streak bonus at their level? No, none in Ultra is win streak, by the way. And this is what we're looking at, by the way. So 68.8% win rate, 165 wins, 75 losses. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. 1,530 right now. Definitely lose games to being outplayed. Honestly, I would say most of my losses were probably misplays still. Like, even at this, like, I would say, I think, honestly, we could have been probably closer to, like, 75, 80% right now if we never misplayed, technically. But that's obviously not realistic. But let's see, guys. Winning in number 2. Going second. And we're going against a grass deck yet again, leading Giratina. We have Rocky Helmet. So, double Pokeball, Sabrina as well. Okay. There's a lot of things here that we can talk about. Rocky Helmet, really good in this matchup. Of course, it can help fix that math against Meowscarada, for sure. Pokeball into Research is massive for our opponent. Going second also is not bad, actually, but it's not great either. And there's the Execute. Okay, all right. I don't know. I still don't really know how I feel about any of this, but we're going into it. Obviously, some games you brick with Mewtwo in the active, but literally every deck in this game. Yeah, but honestly, even Mewtwo in the active gives you the opportunity to win. Like, it's not like it's like an auto lose, which is, again, because the games go typically longer with this, but there are some matchups where leading with Mewtwo just feels terrible. I'll be honest. Yeah, we're going to bench this Giratina. I think we always split here. We always split. I don't think there's ever a world where we don't. We have to split. Mewtwo's going to be our win condition, I think. Is it worth even climbing after you make Ultra 1? I mean, it's a really tough choice, honestly. Like, I think, okay, double Research Pokeball. This man's got 12 cards in his hand here. That's crazy. I mean, it's a real question, honestly. Like, is it worth it? For most people, I would say no, actually. I would say no, which is crazy. But no, I don't think it is. Mars here, honestly, might even be the play as well. Well, we haven't seen a Cape yet. So I might just go double active. I think Aggression here is actually the move. I think we're going to Mars and double active. This could be such a backfire play. This could be the biggest backfire play of all time, but we have to be aggressive, I think, here. I get why they don't allow autoplay in ranked. Yeah, that would obviously defeat the purpose, I think. Faden dropped Rocky Helmet. Grunt. Let's go. He draws into Meowscarada out of red. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Let's be honest. But the Sabrina 2 in hand is insane. There's the Meowscarada. But we can revenge KO. He retreats, but we have Sabrina, though. He retreats, but we have Sabrina, though. And he flips tails. Let's go. I think we always still Sabrina. We always still Sabrina. I mean, technically not. Technically speaking, what we could do here is attack this turn, but then he could bench another Pokemon, and then we wouldn't get a chance to bring this Meowscarada back up to the active, right? So I think we always Sabrina this turn, no matter what. Because its retreat cost is 1. We have another Sabrina in deck, though. He's got 2 cards. I mean, do we Sabrina this turn? We can't take the KO with Giratina. In fact, we can't even KO the active either. Do we Sabrina this turn, guys? If we Sabrina, then we could... He's just going to retreat it right, but then it'll be in range of... Maybe not, actually. Maybe you're right. Man. He is 2 turns away. You sold me on it. Because if we attack the active, then he can't attack us, right? So I think that's the play. Red would have been nice for sure this turn. I think, yeah. I don't think we do that. Yeah, because he's got Erica's, like, there's no reason to do that. If we attack the active, then he can't attack us this turn. We have another turn to build up Mewtwo. We still have Giant Cape on the active, which will put Meowscarada in range of Mewtwo. We'll have a couple extra turns here. This Erica doesn't matter. It actually doesn't matter. Well, it could matter, though, if he hits 80 here. Yeah, 2 Sabrina. We're playing 2 Sabrina. He's gonna... Do we have a... Oh, man. This is so bad. In a lot of ways, I think. For us. He hits for 80. He goes down. We can KO here and live next turn. But if we do that, then we're never going to get 3 energies on the Mewtwo, though. In time. The cape on the Mewtwo is huge. I want a Sabrina. I do. Because if we Sabrina, then Mewtwo can KO either of these Pokemon. Retreat into Mewtwo. We don't want to do that, though. Because he can cape the Meowscarada, and then we lose. Retreat to Mewtwo. And then, oh, and then draw for Dawn. KO with Mewtwo, you think? But if we KO with Mewtwo here, he goes into Mewtwo-Giratina. He doesn't KO us, but then we can't KO him if he draws Giant Cape. But that might even be a better strategy, though. So if we Sabrina and we hit, then he can't KO us, is my thought process. So we always Sabrina. We always Sabrina because even with... Unless he has Erika's in hand. But he's already played one Erika's. We always hit here. I don't think there's ever a world where we don't hit here. Because he could, like, Erika attach KO. Or Cape attach KO. But then Mewtwo KOs. So Cape's fine. Because Mewtwo just comes in and attacks and KOs. Unless we also see an Erika's. If this guy had Cape Erika's in this 3-card hand, then I'm going to be... I'm floored. I am absolutely floored if he has that. Because that's crazy because he's already played one Erika's. See, the fact that he had Cape, though, means this was the correct play. I'm pretty sure. That's what that meant. Yeah. See, we're chilling. We win. I don't think we lose this, ever. Alright, how do we lose this game? We could lose this game because we haven't played Leaf, so we could just play Research this turn into Leaf possibly, but also if we top deck Sabrina here, then we hyper win. But I'm pretty sure we win. I'm pretty sure we win this game. Because he can't KO with Mewtwo-Giratina next turn no matter what. We're at 170 HP. What do we top deck? We top deck the Sabrina! That's what I'm talking about, guys. That's what I'm talking about. This is how we get to Master Ball rank, everybody. This is how we get to Master Ball. I am so hyped. Let's go. Masterful plays. We probably still lose to Sabrina. I'm not going to lie. But we're doing it. It's not over yet. He could just Sabrina double 80 on our face. Like, let's be honest here. If we're being entirely honest with you, right? But I mean, also Dawn kind of wins us the game anyway. But 6 cards in deck. We have Dawn. We've got PCL. We've got Potion. He's got the Sabrina. It's possible, guys. We could lose this. I think we have a Cape in deck as well. If he flips 80 here, we're terrified. In all seriousness. Oh, okay. So everything happened that turn that we did not want to happen. This game is still extremely losable. Dawn? That's what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. This is next level difference. This is next level difference. These are master ball plays here. This is Master Ball gameplay, ladies and gentlemen. We're clutching up. We're doing what needs to be done here. Winning in 50 damage KO. Last points Master Ball rank achieved. Achieved, ladies and gentlemen. Clip it. Clip it, save it. Tell your mom about it. Master Ball, here we are. GG's. Shout out everybody. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the subscribers. Shout out to the donos. Shout out to Richie. Shout out to Project Spearman, to Void. Shout out Henry. Shout out Joshua. Shout out Nathan. Shout out Antoine. Aeon. Carnivar. Let's go. Let's go. Shout out everybody. Bang. Bang. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Screen cap it. Let's do it. All day, every day. Thank you so much, guys. We did it today. It got dicey there. I'm not gonna lie. It was scary when we lost those 2 games after when we had the win-in scenario and we went 2 losses in a row. I was rattled. I was actually rattled. I didn't. My confidence was at an all-time low. You know, I didn't let it show. I kept a cool head, and we carried through. We did it. Open some packs now. All right, buddy. Larry, let's do it. Let's open these packs. We'll thank our opponent. We will thank our opponent. Super hype. I think we're not even in like the top 10,000, I'll be honest, but 8,030. I mean, we certainly didn't get there very quickly, I'll be honest with you, but we did get there. And we got there with what I would say an okay win rate. It would have been better if we were on 69 exactly, I think, right? I think we can all agree 69% would have been a bit better. But we will take 68.9 as well. I think that's also fine. Can you fall out of Master Ball back to Ultra? Yeah, the funny part is you can, actually. Yeah, that's the funny part, is that you can. And I probably will still play Master Ball, honestly. I probably will play games in Master Ball. But I think for right now, I don't think there's really a reason to. I think do we get an emblem for being top 10,000? Because that's all I really care about. How do we go to rewards? Yeah, so I think we'll maintain our spot in like top 10,000. I mean, I could try to grind for top 5,000, but I don't have that much time on my hands. Like the next time I'll probably live stream ranked will probably be like next Saturday, if anything. So it's not super likely, I'll be honest. 69, yeah, would have been better, wouldn't it have? Here's the deck, guys. Top 5,000 sounds awful. Yeah, it'd be a stretch for sure. Let's quickly pull up the list here, and I'll talk about it a little bit. So let's go over the journey here. So my journey to Master Ball was very interesting because initially, for my first, like up until I got into Ultra Ball, I actually was playing Dark Giratina for quite some time. And then I guess a lot of people also started playing Dark Tina. And that was when I made the decision to swap to Mewtwo and Giratina, because Mewtwo and Giratina, with the 2 potions, with the 2 giant capes, with the Pokemon Center Lady, it just felt better into that matchup. I thought we were almost countering our opponent. At that time, we were playing 2 red. We were playing Cyrus and Sabrina. Again, Rocky Helmet still. But I think that the whole idea between Mewtwo with 170 hitting for 170 meant that we were able to basically kind of counterplay the Dark Tina decks, especially with Druddigon. It just felt like we were doing that more often. And we could also go Turbo. We could kind of get that Giratina attack off on turn 3, whereas Dark Tina wasn't able to. So after Great Ball, once I got into Ultra Ball, I actually swapped to Mewtwo Giratina, and for a couple of days we were rolling. We were quite literally winning like an insane amount. I was floating around 73-74% win rate, and then we hit Ultra Ball 4. And when we hit Ultra Ball 4, this correlated with the exact same time frame that everybody, and I mean everybody, swapped to Meowscarada decks, to Turbo Fighting decks, to Gyarados decks, to Charizard. The format and the decks people were playing in ranked were basically tailored specifically to beat the Giratina decks, right? Because that's what Charizard does, that's what Meowscarada does. They're really just meant to beat this deck, and yes, sometimes they don't draw properly. They're not super consistent decks, but like when they do draw well, you just lose. So the format became, once I hit like Ultra Ball 3 or 4, things got way more RNG based, and from a matchup perspective, where it seemed like, and even in this video, we hit grass decks more than we did. You know what I mean? Like, think about that. Most of the games we played here were against Meowscarada decks, and we still ended up winning a lot. And again, changes I made to this deck list based off of those common matchups that we were facing, being, including the 1 Rocky Helmet, cutting out a red for a Mars and a Giovanni. Realistically, those 3 cards, right? Giovanni, Mars, Rocky Helmet, all extremely good against Meowscarada in the grass-type decks, but also double Sabrina. I think in this video, the double Sabrina really did come in clutch in a lot of scenarios, and just having Sabrina early in the game was super important. So changing the deck list a little bit, even though this deck seemed like it kind of had a really bad matchup against the grass decks, the cool thing about this list is that we're only playing 3 Pokemon, so we're super flexible in the trainers that we run. To be fair, so you can actually tailor this deck to actually be much better in specific matchups than it otherwise would be. So this is the list that we settled on. It's changed a little bit as time gone on, but I would say for the majority of my games, especially all the way through Ultra Ball, we've been playing Mewtwo, and I do think that it's really at least a top 3 deck in the format. I think now, the metagame is shifting, and the decks that people are playing is shifting, so I don't think Giratina in general is as well positioned as it was previously, but I do think that Mewtwo and Giratina is still a top deck in the format, and I'm not surprised whatsoever. So big shout out, massive thanks to everybody here. I'm actually going to screen cap this image real quick so I can show the homies, and we'll post this around. Yeah, man, good times, everybody. Let's pull this up again. I honestly kind of really wanted that 69, but Wasn't meant to be, I don't think. Was not meant to be. Okay. Again, shout out to everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't go anywhere because, well, I mean, of course you can go somewhere if you want, but what we're going to do is we're actually going to take a look at day 1 of the Ursa Days tournament. This is going to be a little sneak peek, a nice little sneak peek of potentially Meta Monday coming up. Pack opening? We could do a pack opening, actually, so hold on. If we do a pack opening, I'm going to have to buy the packs here on my phone, and then I'm going to have to buy the packs on my phone and then re-log in on my computer, basically, because I can't purchase the gold or whatever. This will probably log me out here on this. At least I would assume it does. So let me buy some gold for the homies because we did get donos. What did we get? Like $35 in donos, which is crazy, by the way. Let me buy some gold. We'll do a nice little pack opening here, maybe 40 packs or something like that. Let's see what we can do here. Maybe we pull that gold Pokeball. That could be sick. All right, we're doing it. Pack opening coming. Celebratory pack opening. Let's do it. Yo, Mad, your current deck or replace Mars with another red. Honestly, I swapped out one of my reds for Mars because so many of the decks we were playing were red wasn't useful against, like mainly Meowscarada. So much Meowscarada made it so that I just didn't even want to play a second red in the deck. And to be honest with you, it could come in clutch, but I mean, red isn't as important as you would think, right? Because Mewtwo hits for 160 with Giovanni, so I think one red, one Giovanni is correct, and one Mars. Honestly, I think in this economy, in this climate. Okay, so I think what we're gonna have to do is so yeah, there we go. Login detected, ending game. All right, let's log back in. One sec. We have to log back in on LD player because I logged in on my phone to buy the gold, so it kicked me out. Let's do it. Meowscarada is insane. Best card, argued with the wall. I disagree. I think it's definitely one of the best cards, though. That's I think is undisputable at this point. All right, boys, pack opening. Let's do it. Let's open some packs. Let's go. All right. We're going all in Shining Revelry, 100%. We've got a lot of pack points, by the way. Tons of pack points here. I guess what we can do quickly, though, before we go into the pack opening is I'll show you what cards we have and what cards we don't have. We have all of the sets completed. Let me go all the way down. Where is it? Right? Oh, those are promos. So, okay, so these are all of the rare cards that we've got for Shining Revelry. We have all of these cards here. We've got, full art Clodsire, 2 of them. We've got full art Tinkaton, full art Barrel, but that's it. We've got Iono, Pokemon Center Lady. We actually have 2 Rainbow Rare Pikachu, 1 Rainbow Clodsire EX, and then we have a ton of these Giratinas. And then these are all of the shiny Pokemon. 1 Pokeball. So realistically, what we're looking for is, I think, another Pokeball. But anyway, those are the cards that we have so far from the set. Let's get right into it. We're opening 40 packs, by the way. I wish Clodsire was better. Clodsire is fine, actually. I just think there's too much Arceus still somehow in the format. Let's do it. 250 gold. Let's go, guys. Shout out to all the donos. You made this happen. Mad respect for everybody here. Do we blaze through this? What's the etiquette when we're opening 10 packs on stream? Do we just hold it down and breeze through the cards? Do we just do it like this? Is this fine or is this too fast? Would you guys rather it be slower? We'll do it a little slower. I'll do it manually. Arceus Stonewall's Claude? Yeah, I know. That's kind of the issue. There's a Meowscarada, the card that got us into Master Ball. Shout out to Meowscarada. By got us in, meaning it lost to us. And the second full art Bibarel? Bibarel? No idea. Card we already have, but it's always nice to see some rare stuff here. Another Pikachu EX. A lot of the normal EXs and stuff we just have so many copies of. Realistically, all I'm looking for in the set anymore is just straight up the Pokeball. So, very unlikely that we get it, but you never know. We'll see. Oh, hello? Shiny Charizard? I think this is my second one, to be honest with you. It's a good card here. Not a bad, first 10 packs, actually, if you think about it. That was actually pretty good. Damn, let's go. Let's go. Shiny Charizard, which is, I mean, that Charizard could actually be extremely good in the metagame at some point. I actually do believe that. I think it's going to end up being a hilarious win condition. Oh my god, how many cards is this? 11,000 cards, guys. This is what a whale looks like. This is what somebody that plays this game and opens too many packs looks like. So, don't judge me for the 11,000 cards because that's crazy. A little embarrassed, in fact, that we saw that. Imagine Crown Pokeball hitting Master Ball in one day. That would be so sick. Does luck come with Premium Pass? Probably not. I think it's probably the opposite, to be fair, as somebody was referring to. I'm not even going to sneak a peek. Normally, I sneak a peek at the back card. Or maybe we will. I'll do it. Let me know in the comments. Would you rather me sneak a peek at that back card, or would you rather me just fly into it? There's the Tatsugiri. Nothing. Nothing. Honestly, I wouldn't even mind like a what is it? Like red, like a full art red would be really cool. There's a lot of cards in the set that I think I really like. I never have good luck with full art trainers. I feel like they're less likely than full art Pokemon EXs personally. That's my personal opinion, but could be wrong about that. Pack number 9. Just all of these full arts too, like these like right here, these 1-star cards are really annoying because like the rarity for these cards is super low. Like I get these cards so often. Yo, Daniel, shout out to you, brother. Congrats on Master Ball. Any thoughts on Skarmory Magnezone? I think it's good. I think Skarmory Magnezone is good. Do you think the ranked game will have regulations limiting expansions to play? They might at some point, but I don't think that's going to happen for a long time. It's really tough to make the argument to basically tell people that they can't play cards that they want to play. You know what I mean? So like, you know, the only way that really works is if they want to like reprint cards. Like that's how the normal Pokemon TCG Pocket does, where they sort of reprint the same cards. And then they rotate out similar ones, maybe. But I don't know. We'll have to see. If that happens, it'd be very far down the road, I think. Got biased and it lost to us. Yeah, that's right, Illuminati. Tinkaton is neat. I like Tinkaton. My pull rate on the set has been bad. Yeah, I mean, I've opened a lot of packs in the set, I'll be honest with you. We've gotten a lot of EX Pokemon, so I can't complain. This is like my 12th Giratina EX, I'll be honest with you. But I think if you open enough packs, obviously, you're going to get all of those cards. So it's like, for me, like my pack luck is a different concept than like some of you guys, right? Which you're probably just looking to get like the cards to play with. For me, like I've opened like hundreds of these packs. So my pack luck is like, oh, I don't have my second gold Pokeball. You know what I mean? Like that's how I think about it. But obviously, like I'm a whale, so old Charizard and new go good together. I think they will eventually go good together. I think the old Charizard could be cracked, like in a scenario where if we had, like for example, if we had like a fire Pokemon, you could just pair with that Charizard. That could just set itself up and attack. The cool thing with the new Charizard is that technically it's kind of its own win condition. Whereas like if you do finally evolve into Charizard, what you can do basically, technically in the scenario, if you only need like 1 or 2 like points left, you can kind of go into that Charizard with 1 energy, just stoke, live a hit, and then just take a hit and then win. So like that's sort of how that card should be played, I think. It's not meant to be brought in with all of the energies needed to attack. It's meant to like go in, take a hit, build itself up, and then attack. So it's its own sort of win condition. Yeah, just because of your videos actually modified my deck a little though. For example, blue because of the mirror match. Yeah, nice, Daniel. I thought you couldn't spend in live, Nathan. I don't want to pay for this game. I need to pay for the Switch too. Yeah, facts. That's a great point. I don't know what you mean you couldn't spend in live. I don't know what that means. You can buy packs on live. I think you can. Yeah, you can now. In the old client, in Pokemon TCG Pocket. Or not Pocket. In Pokemon TCG Online, like the official client before live, you couldn't. You had to basically buy like code cards, buy on a third party, like on a third person market, and it was really silly. No gold Pokeball, unfortunately. No God Pack. A God Pack here would have been sick, but even with a God Pack, we wouldn't have been guaranteed. Just all of these 1-stars. It's like I have so many of these cards, dude. This probably might be my 20th, Buizel. Like this card is like, I have so many of them. Okay. Ooh, is that a rainbow? No. What is that? What kind of a card is this? Is that just an EX that I'm looking at weirdly? Oh, it's a shiny. Oh, okay. Ooh, shiny Charmeleon. I already have shiny Charmeleon, but that is cool. If I wanted to play Charizard, that is cool for sure. Pack number 8. Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, I don't know what that card border is. That's crazy. All right. Last pack here? No. Well, I think we have like 20 gold left, so we can I think open like 3 more packs after this. So the dream is still alive, technically. Maybe I just whale so hard, honestly, that I get to like 2,500 pack points. I'm not even halfway there. So maybe we do that. And then just buy the gold Pokeball. But to be fair, if we did that, we would probably get the Pokeball before then. So anyway. Let's get right into it here. Let's get lucky. 3 more packs. Oh. I wailed for 1 and I didn't get it. That's tough, man. I honestly got my first gold Pokeball like in my first 10 packs. And then I just obviously haven't seen one yet. No, not 10. Just 1. 2 more packs, guys. God pack luck? Anybody? God pack incoming? What are your thoughts? Spin and win? Let's do this one. God pack. Nope. The opposite of a God pack. A nothing pack. I mean, listen, I think this was a successful stream. You know, we had about 300 people chilling in here. Again, I really do appreciate it. You guys are all awesome. I don't stream a lot, so it's like, you know, I don't expect everybody to tune in when I do stream, but we might be able to make these ranked battle streams like a regular thing on Saturdays nights. I will have to see. It kind of works out because I typically upload Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then Sunday I usually take off, and Saturday I never really know what to make videos on. So maybe live streaming on Saturday kind of works out, but anyway, yeah, that's it. That's it for the packs. We did get shiny Charizard. We got a full art barrel. We got some stuff. We did. We got quite a bit of cool stuff in that pack opening. Nothing super substantial. No full art trainers, which I was looking for, but no full art red as well. I could actually purchase a full art red pretty soon here. Actually, I think. How many? What does it cost? $13.50? Or no, wait. The shinies are 1,000, which is crazy actually. $12.50. So we could actually just sort of brute force and pity points our way into a full art red, which could be the move here. I think we'll wait probably until the next set's about to come out, and if we just don't have enough, if we don't get that Pokeball, you know what I mean? I think the dream is that we just keep whaling. We just keep opening packs until hopefully we get the Pokeball, but if not, if we're still far away by then, we just go ahead and grab a red or something like that. Okay. So what's the move here? I think what we're going to do here is quickly take a look at day 1 of the Ursa Days tournament. Just quickly before we wrap up the stream here. Let's see here. So I got to pull it up. Here we go. Okay. And then I'll make this a bit smaller. Like so. I think we'll zoom. Maybe. Okay. All right. 1 second. Give me 1 sec. And then I just have to add in here on OBS. Give me 1 second. We'll get right in. We'll get into some quick meta analysis here. We'll make this happen here. Ursa Days. Bang, just like this. Like so. Does this work? Make it a little bit smaller. I'll get rid of this deck list here. Hold up. There it is. We'll get the old Pokemads logo, or Pocket Mads logo. Don't even know my own name. Okay, bear with me, folks. And I think that'll do. All right, let's get into it. So, this is day 1. So this is just Swiss rounds. One thing I will say is that the standings after day 1 of these tournaments are never something to really take too much of a consideration on. The Swiss rounds mean that basically you start off by playing a random opponent, and then from then on out, you play opponents that have the same record you do. So if you're 3-0, you're going to play somebody else that's 3-0, basically, unless there's nobody else. If you're you know what I mean? So basically early on, you have the opportunity to play a bunch of random decks. Yo, C-Dub, happy birthday. Congrats on Master Ball, $10. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much. I really, really do appreciate that. Thank you, man. Thank you. Shout out to C-Dub. Okay, so, yeah, so keep that in mind. And basically what that means is because it's all Swiss rounds, the competition isn't necessarily like the same. And like once we get into like 602 or like 6-1, like really any deck can make it in here. Day 2, it comes down to like a best of 3 single elimination bracket. So things become very, very different. These are the standings. So I believe top 32 will make it. So like everywhere from right here in 32nd place all the way up is going to basically make it into the top cut bracket. Of course, a lot of Giratina here, a lot of Gyarados, a couple Charizard, and then a few Mewtwo-Giratina as we see here. Mewtwo-Giratina definitely had some placements here, but it's probably going to find its way a little bit farther down as we see here in the 6-1, 6-2 range. There's a lot of Gallade. But if we go back to the top, we've got Giratina and Darkrai. Of course, right? So the two decks here tied for number 1 place at 8-0 were Giratina Darkrai and Giratina Mewtwo. These are the two best decks. Actually, Judy here, or Judy, I believe his name is like the number 1 Pokemon pocket grinder in the world. If you guys don't know who this guy is, he streams on Twitch, and he's played like literally, I don't even know how many games, like thousands of games, like probably not thousands, but he's played a ton. Like he's top 10 on the actual rankings. This man has been live streaming and playing ranked battles so much, and he's been playing almost exclusively Giratina and Mewtwo. He's had a lot of success here. Him going 8-0 here, I'm really not surprised about, because this man is probably an absolute master at this deck. He's probably played so many games with it. But either way, shout out to this dude, because he's also like top 10 on ranked battles. That's how many games he's played. But anyway, shout out to him. So here at number 1 place is going to be Giratina and Darkrai. This is playing Arceus instead of Druddigon. And this is interesting. I actually think that Druddigon is not correct for a variety of reasons. As we saw here, the 1 copy of Dawn with Arceus, like there's a world, honestly to me, where playing Arceus and maybe an extra Dawn here, like maybe we cut 1 Rocky Helmet and we play 2 Dawn, and then we're playing a little bit better of a turbo option, and it allows us to be a little bit more aggressive in the early game, which is something that the traditional Darkrai Giratina isn't able to do. But basically, Mewtwo and Giratina can do, right? So Arceus with Dawn does give us that option. Arceus isn't great. Like realistically, it's not, but it can attack for 3 energies and it can do 130. So it technically isn't a bad card, especially when you consider that you have the possibility to attack on turn 3 with it. And that's really all it comes down to. Also, like, it does more damage than Darkrai. So, if you really look at things here, the deck is still a bit awkward, but it is good enough. We're playing Dawn, we're playing Cyrus, we're playing Sabrina, Red. Like, it really is just sort of standard Giratina stuff. I'm a little bit higher on Mewtwo personally still, but I think if we are playing Darkrai, it's probably best not to play Druddigon, whether we're playing Arceus or not. I do think that this deck is really strong. Like I said, we did lose to this list because he did get that Dawn out on turn 3, right? Which again, it's not very likely with 1 copy of Dawn. You have to lead with Arceus, you have to get Giratina early off, and then you have to get Dawn early off. So it's a very, inaccurate combo, but this is certainly, I think, a better way to play Darkrai Giratina right now than Druddigon, which is very interesting to know. Next up, let's take a look at our guy here, which is Mewtwo and Giratina. This is going to be a very similar deck, basically the exact same deck that I was playing. The only difference here is that he's playing 1 Cyrus, 1 Sabrina. And in my mind, 2 Sabrina is more correct. I honestly, in my last couple of days of playing ranked mode, there was almost never a time where I really wanted to have Cyrus and not Sabrina. If I'm being 100% honest with you, I would rather just have the option to play an early Sabrina and have another Sabrina late in the game. Like, they function similarly. So that's, I think, the only downside here. I think in the format right now, this is the exact same deck I was playing, but I would actually just cut that Cyrus for a Sabrina based off of what the format looks like right now. I really do think so. With all of the Gyarados seeing play, with all of the Mewtwo-Giratina decks seeing play, with all of the Charizard decks seeing play, I think 2 Sabrina is by far the best option. I think Judy already was ahead of the curve here, cutting 1 red. Because red is less useful, so we're just leaning into that, right? 1 red, 1 Giovanni, 2 Sabrina, 1 Mars, 1 Dawn, 1 PCL, 1 Leaf, and I think that's correct. And I think, again, Potions is sort of needed. Potions and PCL is needed for the Darkrai matchup. There's a lot of Darkrai matchups, but also Potion is so good in really every Giratina deck, because there's so many scenarios where we're ahead of the curve. We attack with Giratina, and now we have a little bit less HP, and now we're a little bit in a tough spot. So basically, Giant Cape, Giratina, we attack, we go down to 150. We can then play Potion the next turn, go up to 170, so that way we're never falling below that 150 mark. You can make the list a lot more consistent. So overall, Mewtwo, Giratina, very, very high. No surprise to me, but both of these decks are tied for number 1 here after day 1. This is the interesting one, right? Mewtwo-Giratina and Wigglytuff. To be fair here, I think that this deck just gets carried by Mewtwo-Giratina, and I wouldn't put too much stock in this Wigglytuff. I think it's totally fine. Honestly, I think it's totally fine. I think basically the main upside to this is that we can play Jigglypuff turn 1 and put our opponent's Pokemon to sleep, basically. So what worked best for you in Ultra Ball rank? Mewtwo-Giratina, especially the way I have it built. This deck just gets carried by Meowscarada. Honestly, that's really all it comes down to. Cry for Help is our lead off. If we're not leading off with Sprigatito, we lead off with Jigglypuff. We can put him asleep. We can then retreat out, or we can just straight up, heal up with Wigglytuff. So there are some scenarios, especially against Darkrai, like where this Wigglytuff is actually really, really good. So it's interesting, right? We can double cape as well. I like this list. I do. It's a little bit reliant on evolving your Meowscaradas, but that's the case with every Meowscarada deck, right? And these stage 2 decks are kind of high roll decks in their own right, and that's just the reality of it. But I think there's a lot of different ways we can play it. I was playing Judy's list, but now I'm trying 2 Sabrinas. Yeah, that's right, Jared. Try that out. That's my recommendation for sure. That is my recommendation. It's a Meowscarada deck, and instead of Beedrill, we're playing Wigglytuff. That's really all it comes down to. And this is Beedrill Meowscarada. 2 Sprigatito, 2 Floragato, 2 Meowscarada, and then just 1/1/1 Kakuna Beedrill. Very similar list. Instead of the Beedrill line, we're playing the Wigglytuff line. We have one more Pokemon, or one more trainer slot in here to probably play something like a Pokecom. So, I don't know. It's interesting. Or one less trainer slot in this deck. But, you know what? These Meowscarada decks are just... you can pair it with whatever. All it really comes down to is, like, are you going to get turn 3 Meowscarada? Because if you're not, like, you're probably not going to win. So that's, realistically, that's sort of what it comes down to. Is this going to load here? Okay, there we go. And then here, so this is an interesting one too. And again, this is Turbo Grass. This is Turbo Grass Arceus, which I think, realistically is actually a really strong deck. I think in the format right now, there's a lot of Turbo decks. There's a lot of Darkrai. This Carnivine, I lost to these fast-paced Grass Arceus decks so much because this Carnivine here with Giant Cape is so annoying. Like it's so annoying. And it does early damage. It's just a very consistent deck. Also, if we're not leading with Carnivine, we can lead with Execute, go into Executor. It's just pretty crazy. Haven't seen too much Beedrill. Yeah, it's underrated. Yeah. Personally use Giratina EX and Cresselia EX. That's very interesting, Brad. Very, very interesting. But yeah, no, this is a really good Arceus deck as well. I think it's just aggressive and it's grass type, so I think it has a pretty big advantage actually in the format, which is interesting. If you really think about like what the form, like if you're fast paced and you're grass, like you're gonna actually have a pretty decent time. Here's the top placing Charizard list, which is playing Shaman, 1 Pokecom, 1 Iono. Yeah, I mean, I think this is kind of honestly becoming a pretty common way that we're playing Charizard now, which I don't know, I don't really know about personally. It's like Charizard is Charizard, so it's like Shaman can certainly help in some scenarios, but I think 2 Giant Cape is certainly very, very important in this matchup. Mars as well. Like, we lost to this list, I think, today, which is pretty funny in ranked mode, but again, it's Charizard, so if you get Charizard set up on turn 3, turn 4 at the latest, you're probably going to win, and that's all it comes down to. That's all Charizard is. That's really all it is. I mean, you could justify like playing another Pokemon Communications instead of Shaman, yeah. But the whole X speed here thing is I think very, very, very relevant in a lot of scenarios. I think X speed's just always worth it, to be fair, as well, because like you're gonna have 1 energy on Moltres anyway, right? So like why play Leaf, right? We might as well just play X speed, and then we can draw into it with research. So yeah, there's Charizard. I don't have a lot of strong opinions about Charizard, but here's another list with Arceus and Carnivine. It's just a bit different now. We have Sky Sport, Shaman, and Farfetch'd as another leadoff option. Again, just turbo aggressive Arceus. Really good, honestly, against a lot of the Giratina decks that are just a bit slow and just can't really keep up with that damage, which is, again, very, very interesting to note. I think that turbo, fast-paced, aggressive Arceus decks are actually quite good. And then all the way down here at 11th place is the highest placing Gyarados list here at 6-0-2. Again, with Swiss, a lot of people at the end of the rounds, they just sort of, they call it like an intentional draw, which basically means both people agree to tie because they know that they'll both make it into day 2. That's really all that means. So the fact that they're not higher up ranking doesn't really mean anything. If they played it out, one person would have been 7-1. So they just sort of decided not to do that because it doesn't actually matter what your ranking is as long as you make it top 32, so you get into day 2. But yeah, here's Gyarados. Again, it's still Gyarados. Nothing's really changed here. The one thing that we are seeing now is that we've included a Giant Cape, which I think really does matter in the Mewtwo matchup. In fact, putting this cape on something like a Manaphy, or even like putting it on Gyarados in the late game, can basically win you the matchup. So and again, it really does play into the skill expression. It gives you more options. So if we're going against Mewtwo, we slap that cape on a Gyarados. If we're going against maybe an aggressive aggro deck, maybe we slap that cape on Manaphy, live an extra turn. So there's a lot of different scenarios where Giant Cape is good in Gyarados, but again, these Gyarados decks are becoming a little bit less consistent, but a little bit more scary on the high end if they do draw all the cards they need to draw. Just absolutely terrifying to deal with. Let's take a look at this Gyarados, who is also playing one Mars instead. So we're playing one Helmet, one Cape. So a lot of people were asking why play Helmet on Gyarados, and I think it really does matter in a lot of matchups because most decks can't hit for 170, right? Like if you think about it, like Mewtwo with Rocky Helmet on Giratina can do 190, which means that we basically need Giant Cape to not get KO'd if that combo happens. So keep that in mind. Anthony, if you want to show us your deck, hop into the Discord, and there's a deck list channel posted in there. Everybody will see it, and everybody will give their opinions, so I'd highly recommend that. And if any of you guys aren't in the Discord, definitely join the Discord. I would definitely recommend it. But yeah, Gyarados now is playing Giant Cape, and that terrifies me as a Mewtwo player personally here. And then not a lot of fighting, honestly, and I think a big reason for that is that Grass and Psychic is common in the format. I think fighting is good, but I think basically a lot of people are choosing to play Mewtwo-Giratina in those types of decks more than they are the fighting decks, which honestly does kind of pave the way still for a lot of Gyarados, but I think for the most part, fighting just doesn't have maybe as much going for it as like these grass decks do. And they're playing stage 2s anyway, right? So it's like, it's just interesting. I think a lot of people choosing, a lot of people playing like Rampardos were probably just swapping to Mewtwo-Giratina, basically, I think is really what that comes to. Which makes the format a little bit more predictable and I think a little bit more open for something like a Gyarados. But we'll have to see how all of these decks perform in Top Cut. That's really what it comes down to, right? We're going to wrap up the stream here, guys. But quickly, let's take a look at MetaTab. So again, none of this stuff really matters. It's day one here. We see about a 50% win rate for Dark-Tina, and we see basically just under 50% for Mewtwo and Giratina. Actually, this is interesting here because let's take a look here at the average amount of cards. So most people are playing 2 potions, and most people are playing 1 Pokemon Center Lady, but only half the decks are playing Giovanni. So I think the normal list here isn't super accurate. I think a lot of people are still playing Red. Not a lot of people are playing Giovanni. Most people are only playing 1 copy of Sabrina as well. So I think most people playing this deck right now, at least in this tournament, probably weren't playing a super correct list for this metagame, which is probably why it has a little bit lower of a win rate this week than it did last week, personally, because there's so much Mewtwo-Giratina in the format. Yeah, a lot of representation, to be fair. If we look, there's a lot of players here that are making it into day 2. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 7 are making it into top 32 is definitely interesting. But a pretty close to 50% win rate anyway. 276, 290. Honestly, this deck has a lot of skill expression, so it doesn't surprise me that it doesn't have a high win rate because I don't think it's a really easy deck to play, if I'm being honest with you. Brad, I appreciate your content and coverage. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Do I think 20 card decks is a good size for Pokemon Pocket? I would like to see maybe 20, maybe 25. Personally, but yeah, I think it'll probably stay 20 for a very long time. Suffer so much from not having any Pokemon above 140. Yeah, for sure. Gyarados here again, 270, 232. So really the only deck here above 50%, which is hilarious. If we're taking a look at these win rates, take a look at this, right? Look at this. How many decks here are above 50% win rate? None of them, right? We have Gyarados here at 53, Charizard's at 37. Meowscarada Beedrill, 47. Gallade, 45. Weavile Darkrai, 45. Dialga Arceus, 32. This deck has not been doing well. Do not play Dialga Arceus right now. Rampardos, 47. Darkrai Greninja, 65 and 62. So, it's interesting. The reason all these win rates are so low is because a lot of these decks here that not a lot of people are playing are actually the correct list. And that's just sort of what it comes down to, which is just funny to me. Yeah. Crazy. If we go down here, a lot of these decks are higher. So, Darkrai Greninja, higher win rate. Meowscarada Wigglytuff, higher win rate. Palkia, higher win rate. Darkrai Giratina. So, I think that, what we're seeing right now in the format is that the popular decks aren't being sort of changed or modified to counter the other top decks. So, what we're seeing is just every deck beating itself. And there's nothing really that's, standing out. So, I think basically like not only choosing which deck you're playing, but choosing how you're building the deck is actually very, very impactful right now in the format. Gyarados is still Gyarados, and I think honestly, if something were to sort of happen and become like the top deck of the format, I think Gyarados would probably run away with it because we're going to be seeing less Hitmonlee, less fighting, and we're just going to end up seeing more Meowscarada, which just gives Gyarados free reign to just win all of the time, and I think that's pretty crazy. But yeah, we'll have to see after day 2. I think that's when things will be very, very interesting. I'll be very interested to see. Again, tomorrow, we're not going to be doing nothing. It's my birthday, so no videos, nothing like that. But Monday, we will get back to our meta report and then our updated tier list, which I'm really, really excited about. And then I think Wednesday, we'll have to see. We'll get back. We'll play some ranked games. I'll showcase some other decks. But for now, I think we're kind of chilling at Master Ball, and we're not going to hop into some ranked gameplay. Maybe next week. We'll have to see. Arthurito, 25, and they print a card that chooses one Pokemon or one trainer from the deck. Yeah, man. I mean, it really all comes down to it, right? Like if they print so many cards that give decks more consistency, then what we're going to end up seeing is just a decks with very few Pokemon count and all of these consistency cards, and that's just what the game's going to come down to, which is a bit disappointing. But trainer cards and supporter cards are so strong that like the best decks in the game just aren't running that many Pokemon, I feel like, and that's a bit tough, it's a weird imbalance with like how the game is built, and just because they're so limited for deck space, and you're guaranteed to start with a Pokemon, which means mulligans don't exist, which means that you don't need to run a lot of Pokemon, and there's a lot of strong basic EX Pokemon. I think the future of Pokemon Pocket is basically just playing 2, 3, 4, not like EX basic Pokemon, and then just playing a bunch of all of the best trainer cards, and that's just going to be what the best decks are, honestly. Which again doesn't give a whole lot of deck building expression, but I think that's just what the way that the game's going. Pipex gifted 10 Pokémon's memberships. Hello? I didn't even know you could do that. He gifted memberships? Yo, let's go. 10 gifted, dude. Shout out to all the guys that just got memberships. I don't have like a memberships like a thing on the channel. I don't have like emotes because I don't live stream a lot, so I don't have like emotes or anything crazy like that. But that's awesome. That's super, super cool. Maybe I'll do something. Maybe I'll go in and see if I can upload like a little icon or like something that shows up next to your name if you're a member, just to give these guys maybe something. Oh no, they do. They have a little. That's cool. They've got a little blue star there. Brad does when he commented. So okay, so you guys got something. That's cool. Yeah, shout out to becoming members. Honestly, I don't have like members specific rewards or videos or anything like that. I don't advertise the memberships, so I just don't have like a system for like memberships. I just don't have that. Yeah, shout out to Pipex. That's 23. That's super cool, dude. Thank you so much. That is awesome. That is super, super cool. I assume it's random. Who it shows. So that's super, super cool. That's awesome. Shout out to you, man. Thank you so much for doing that. Really, really appreciate that. That's super cool. I didn't even know you could do that on YouTube. So that's awesome. You learn something new every day, guys. Excuse me. You learn something new every day. W is in the chat. Okay, so we're going to wrap up here. This was about 2 hours, a little over 2 hours. We hit Master Ball. We went on a pretty great run. I think we lost, 3, 4, 5 games, but we won more. We hit Master Ball. Top 10,000, at least for right now. Yeah, super, super cool, man. I love it. Love it. All right, guys. Peace out. Have a good one. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. This was a great stream. Again, thank you for all of the donos, everybody tuning in, the gifted memberships, everybody. Super, super appreciated, guys. Stay tuned. Again, have a great Sunday, and then Monday, make sure you come back and stay tuned for the meta report, because week 2, fun fact, my week 2s are my favorite meta reports to do here on the channel, because things change so much, and it's really fun to see how things translate from week 1 to week 2. So it's going to be super interesting. Definitely stay tuned for the meta report and the tier list coming Monday and Tuesday. But anyway, yeah, we're not going to be here tomorrow. So have a good one. Thanks, guys. Master Ball, let's do it. Peace out, guys. Have a good one. Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming in. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys later. Shout out to everybody. Peace out, guys. I don't know how to end the streams, so yeah. I think what we do here is we just go like 3, 2, 1, and then I'll click end stream right now, and then it'll lag a bit, but then it'll end. So